Okay. Oh, okay, of course the title didn't work. Oh, of course it doesn't. There we go. Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. This is scuffed as hell. I've not restreamed like this before, but I should be... Yeah, everything should be kind of set up now. Hopefully, like, my title everywhere isn't just stream via RTMP OBS. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. Okay. Just turn my volume up a touch as well. Hey, Sang Freudian. Okay, that looks fine. And then YouTube looks fine too. Just turn my volume up. Awesome. Yeah, so it's obviously expansion day today. I mean, it goes without saying. It's going to be some cool new stuff to take a look at. I'm really disappointed that the epic arcs that I was so massively looking forward to, obviously being into the lore and everything, I really, wanted to give that a try, but they are not coming until tomorrow, which is, I had a bit of excitement when I saw these ones on screen now. Found out that they've actually been in the game for quite a few years, so it's not those. Shows how much attention I pay. But yeah, it turns out actually tomorrow, hopefully at downtime, I presume. So I'll probably take a look at them tomorrow. Might stream again, see if I'm available, and we'll take a look at however long this epic arc is. I kind of got hyped when I saw this screen currently because I thought it was going to be like one for each empire, but as it turns out, I think it's just one called like Visions of Greatness. Hopefully a couple of hours or something like that. So let me just post this and then we'll get started looking some of the new content. They thought it was going to be like one for each. There we go. Okay. Hope the music isn't too loud, by the way. Awesome. Okay, now move this over here. Right, so first and foremost, I am part excited, part shocked by some of the new achievement stuff they added, right? So we knew this was coming. I am pleasantly surprised by how much it seems to be sort of touching the completionist part of me, let's say, because there are, I think, only about 30 right now. Yeah, you got 10 combat, 10 exploration, 11 industry. What are these other ones? Oh, epic arc stuff. And then you got 4 that are, each one's related to one of the campaigns, one of the, the military campaigns, which we do have. Like, not the epic arcs, but we do have the military campaigns. So it's really touched on the completionist part of me, because some of these look really achievable. Some of these look absolutely insane. Like, for example, going to every single one of the systems in a Mars space, all 689, is going to be a little bit challenging. And also, from what I hear from some of my corp doing it, it doesn't tell you which ones you've already done. So you have to work out the route yourself, right? Like, you have to plan that in .land, plan that in the in-game route tracker. So it's not exactly great. But what we think we're going to take a look at first of all is some of the military campaigns. Let's have a look. For some reason, achievements are under Paragon services, but military campaigns are in the new Theaters of War pop-up. So this is completely different now and should basically be where you go for all of your faction warfare needs, right? It's been a while since I've seen how we're doing here in the MR. I've been enlisted for ages, but haven't been over here. I feel kind of bad, but I'm over in Kamala now. So this is the normal faction warfare window, but if I go up to campaigns, here we go. So naturally, it's no coincidence that my first lore video was on Amar, right? I'm a bit of an Amar fanboy, so it'll be the Blessed Exchange that I try out first. I think you can do the others, right? Like, I know they mentioned at FanFest that I could, you could do them all if you wanted to. What I'm not sure about just yet is is whether I have to enlist to do them. So I'm enlisted with Amar right now. I know that if you unenlist, there is a bit of a cooldown to come back, so I want to be a little bit careful about when I do the enlistments. But we're already enlisted with Amar, so we're just going to get started on one of the military campaigns. They also introduced this new concept of bulwark systems. So that's what this is. So we've got 2 options for contributing to the campaign right now. We can either capture or defend complexes. Oh, and it tells you how much... Okay, so 4.2 million ISK for a full contribution. How many is a full contribution for one player? 12. Right, so I can do up to 12 capture or defense of faction warfare plexes. And then that gives me 4.2 million ISK and 12 KLP, right? It's not exactly much to write home about. You're going to make a lot more than that just doing the plexes, right? Like even the smallest ones are like 10 KLP, I think, which certainly is worth more than 4.2 million ISK. And then for mining Raspite, which is, I believe, basically an event-created ore, this is still able to be reprocessed from what I understand. It's basically a simple ore. Yeah, I've got a very political corner flag on today. But yeah, this one you can reprocess it for tritanium and pyrite, which I think is kind of like scordite. If you look up Raspite, actually, you can look it up just like any other item. Yeah, X grade. So, which I think is the new one they added. If I'm not mistaken, that's basically kind of like the one they added for Exordium, so it's kind of useless. I imagine it's not going to be worth very much. But, yeah, okay. I don't know. I haven't done mining recently enough to know how terrible this is, but I'm going to guess it's pretty bad, and the actual reward, obviously, is helping the Amar. I don't think anyone's going to be out here mining it for fun. However, it is in Bulwark systems, which is this new concept of high-sec systems that are adjacent to faction warfare low-sec. So, it's definitely nice and accessible. I think we'll give that a try. I'm kind of curious to see if the belts are sort of any different, or if it's just kind of the same deal. So if I click participate now, I think this is going to be a bit like freelance jobs. Yeah, okay, it's just going to track it. Shibarito, I picked up Eve today, unable to play right now, downloaded the game, made my account. Any tips on what is best way to find a social guild? Yeah. Like, does Eve have corpse for people? Yeah, absolutely. I would say most people are out there chatting on Discord. It used to be the case that Eve had a really, really burgeoning sort of in-game chat presence. I know you can't see my corp chats behind the Twitch chat, but yeah, people used to chat in game all the time. I think there was even a voice thing at one point, but I wasn't around when that was a thing. There was even a voice option, but now everyone talks on Discord. So yeah, when it comes to tips, what you want to be doing is you want to go up here to see if I can find it. Social. You want to go up to the 3 bars up there. It's called your Neocom in the top left-hand corner. You want to go to social. Then you want to go to corporation. And, oh, let me just show the administration. There we go. You want to go to the Find New Corporation tab. And you can filter. It's actually kind of good. I mean, I don't want to shit talk Fenris Creations too much, right? But the UI can be confusing sometimes. But this is one of those times where it's not. It's actually really quite good. But you can put in what you're looking for. You probably won't know what the answer is. Yeah, CCP. You probably won't know what the actual answer of what you're looking for is yet, Shiba. I mean, let's be honest. Like, but if I was to guess, like just look down towards the bottom, probably like resource harvesting, hauling, market. The rest is a little bit advanced, right? Look it up. Look up some things you like doing. You can do that by looking up the EVE Online career chart. Probably the best way. I know. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the administration tab that's leakable, but it's not great to show probably. And then for area of operations, you're going to want to pick high sec if you're... let me just turn my gain down a little. You're going to want to pick high sec if you're getting started, and then put in your time zone, and it will literally pop up. Like, I mean, if we imagine that I was a new pilot, like new pilot friendly, new pilot focused, I wanted to live in high sec, and I play from like 5 p.m. to like 10 or 11. It'll pop up here. There we go. So you can see a couple of recommendations. You can click on them and see a bit more detail what they're looking for. So that's what you want to do. I realize new campaigns will be added, but for those who don't mine or engage in faction warfare, this rollout has been uninspiring. Yeah, if I were FC, what I would do, what I would absolutely do is have launched more than 2 objectives for this. I mean, from what I understand, some of them only have 1, right? Like, Yeah. Oh, no, they're 2. Okay, it's just the recommended one. So there are different things you can do. Like, if I wanted to hack, if I didn't want to go mine right now, I could go and hack for the Caldari, and I think that would be, like, perfectly fine for me to do. But if I were them, I'd have put, like, more than 2, because if we look here, we can see upcoming for Amar. There's an agent mission 1, capsular ship destruction 1, a hacking 1, and a manufacturing 1. If they'd have just released them all on launch and let people just have a lot more to do, that would have been a good idea, I think. Once I'm able to get in game, that's because I'll chat some people. Yeah. Also, if you just started the game, Shiba, you'll have a chat option. It'll automatically pop up called Rookie Help. The chat will be moving quite quickly, but if you've had any other MMO experience, then yeah, you'll kind of be familiar with it. Just ask in there, and people will be able to help as well. Yeah, my faction warfare supporters. I'm not worried about leaking local, right? Like it's faction warfare space. Yeah, but yeah, Rookie Help. ISDs are in there. They should keep it away from scammers, but you can never get it right perfect, can you? So anyway, let's go and see what this Raspite is about. So I've said I'm participating, and it gives me a few different places I can go. Now, Ohide is 1 jump away, so we'll go and take a look there. I do not have a mining ship on me, but we can always buy one. I'm wondering, first of all, though, if it's even going to let me in a shuttle, because I want to go and have a look at it first, right? Because if it's absolutely swarming with people, then maybe it won't be such a good thing to do. Let's go take a look. Let's go to Ohide.
Warp drive active.
Okay. So I think there'll be a lot of people doing plexing rather than some of the mining stuff. But then again, right, there's a whole bunch of people who just live in high sec who won't get to do any of that plexing stuff if they're not comfortable with low sec. So it might be super busy. We're about to find out. And I'm just having to work out. I think it's simple ore crystals if I do want to mine this too, which I think I have the skills for, but we'll keep it simple. There's only 6 people in here. It can't be too busy, right? Okay. Those are normal locations. This is where we find out it's something I have to add to my overview as well, right? You gotta be careful. So let's bring up the campaign again, see if it has any specific place I need to be. Okay. Oh, is it gonna be in my... Is it gonna be here in my window? Nope. I probably should have looked this up before, right? Right, let's just see if it's in the belts. Maybe it's that simple. That seems way too simple for CCP though, but let's go and check if it's in the belts. My assumption is that it was going to have like an area on my overview, or it was going to be in my probe scanner, but it doesn't seem to be. Or it's all gone, right? It would not be unlike CCP to introduce this to the game and then make it so that it all disappears. That's kind of their running maneuver for everything. Yeah, okay. Right, so this just has your normal peroxides and Veldspar and Scordite and stuff. There's none of this new Raspite here. It's on an Oranom, you said. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, there's none here then. Let's do a little tour. Let's go to Sasutik, see if there's any there. That explains why there's only 6 people in here though, right? They're probably, wherever it did spawn, it's all gone. Kind of like the Empire border systems being in these bulwarks, so again, you already have people that look out for mining in these areas, so I imagine it's getting dealt with pretty quick. So unused to flying around like this in high sec though. All those years living in low sec and then obviously now out in null sec, it feels dangerous out here. Okay, that's just a home one. Nothing here. Been to Ohide, let's go Geth. You're right, maybe you need to scan it down. That would also help. If that's the case, then that's good, because that's something I'm more than happy to do, and actually I think would be quite a clever way of adding it. We'll go and check Ohide, or wherever we're going, Geth, see if there's any in there. If not, I'll pop to Amar and we'll get ourselves a quick scanning ship and we'll give it a go. And you know what we'll also be doing at the same time? We'll also be getting points towards the signature resolved achievement. And there we go, we got stellar exploration. I like the sound effect they do for that stuff. So what was that achievement I just got? Okay, let's see, is there anything here? No, there's no anomaly here with Raspite in. So let's go to Amar. And Yeah, Emperor Family Station, and we'll pick up a scanning ship.
Warp drive.
No need to
active.
scan, you say? Okay. Who knows? I'll pick up a scanning ship anyway because there's hacking options for the Caldari, right? We might want to have one on hand, so we'll pop over there anyway. But what was that achievement that I just got? Stellar Exploration Milestone 1 and a title Wayfinder. Oh yeah, that's the one everyone seems to have. So how do I apply that now? Title granted. It popped up even. There we go. View achievement, equip. Oh, there we go. That's underneath my screen. There we go. Just underneath there, Wayfinder. And now, presumably, that'll show up on my
Warp
show
drive
info as well.
Active.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't really see the point in having an achievement you can unlock quite that quickly, but some of them are absolutely nuts in comparison. I think the worst one I've seen so far is the there's one where you have to mine like 100,000 units of gas, which is that's absolutely insane. You would struggle. But in any case, yeah, that's a good idea. You could always read the patch notes, right? That would
Warp
probably be
drive
smart.
Active.
Let's get them up. See if that gives us a clue. Do you need to be... Oh, that disappeared for a second. Do you need to be aligned like Faction Warfare for Empires to their military quests, or can I go work for any faction? You know, I don't know, and I think let's find out. Because if I'm going to get a scanning ship, I can do one of the scanning jobs for the Caldari or something. Let's go find out the answer to that, because I'm also curious. And it also looks like I'm kind of shit out of luck on mining a nom, so it might not be much of an option.
Warp drive active.
Anyway, let me just pull up this expansion notes, or at least the one that's expansion is here. Which is probably not the super detailed one, right? Yeah, it's the proper notes one I'm going to want. How do I contribute? Titles and achievements. Let me pull it up in Opera. So I think if I do this, yeah, okay, yeah. So this is just like the summary, I think, of stuff that came out. I don't think this is going to have some of the details. So there's like a Q&A section, though. Oh, did I scroll past it? No. Here it is. So, where's the military campaigns? The Navy destroys military campaigns. Can I participate? No minimum requirements. Is it dangerous? Contribute to any of the minimum... What is the Theaters of War dashboard? Okay, so nothing particularly useful there. Does it say anything about if you can do other people's?
Warp drive active.
Yeah, you can contribute to any and all of the Empire campaigns. You won't lose standings with opposing factions for doing so. So that kind of answers our question, right? That's good. Okay, let's get rid of all this mess in the way. I was on first thing this morning, right after downtime, passed through Ammo, Metropolis, there are 20 exhumers. Okay, so it's not gated. That's kind of crazy. I was hoping it would be gated to, like, Ventures or something, because that would just make sense, right? But maybe it makes too much sense. Kill captures, campaign objective must be done in the highlighted system. I bet... Oh, I'd love to say any, but, like, if it's based on the freelance jobs sort of framework, which it seems to be, then I guess it has to be in that system, right? Wonder if anyone else has tried that out. It makes sense, though, that they would be there right after downtime. I don't know if you've ever huffed gas, but it's the same sort of deal. There's so much more available at downtime, just because that's when, like, the spawns kind of reset. And then later on in the day is, you know, a bit of a challenge. It does randomly pop up, but just not as reliably. Yeah. Yeah, let me know if you're able to get the contribution to... let me know if you're able to get the contribution to that, killing people in different systems. I actually think it doesn't have to be that system, because the indicator system just changed. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, don't do drugs. Doing space solvents. It's basically fine, right? Let me have a look here. Okay. It's a long way from Camella to Amar. I always felt like it was right next door. Yeah, no, exactly. You're right. I used to deal with so much trouble about that. Like, I used to get so many complaints when we lived in low-sec and kind of did our own thing. And, like, I used to get so many people saying, like, oh, how come all the EU players, like, get to enjoy, like, all the good, like, ore spawns and the gas and everything. And, yeah, it is kind of sucky. Like, it's problem with having a static downtime like that is that, yeah, basically, you're screwed. If you're in USTZ, like... You're up shit creek. Like the way we used to sort of balance it out, and I recommend this if you're in like an alliance that can do this, is we'd have all the moon pops be kind of like US time zone. So EU people got all the good ore and all the good gas, and then the US people got all the good moons, which that kind of worked for the most part. Didn't stop the complaints, mind you. Okay, almost back in Amar now. So we'll do a little sweep. Again, once we get the heron, we'll come back and do a little sweep of the Amar area. Actually, no, let's just go straight to Caldari, right? Like, if we check like 3 systems, I don't expect us to get lucky. I'm never that lucky. So we'll go and do the Caldari ones. Because I can go there. I can't go to the Minmatar ones because I'm still enlisted and they'll shoot me.
Warp drive active.
Trying to think what else there even was, right? Anyone got their like command carrier cooking already? I know a few people have started researching the T2 BPC. It's like the least interesting part of this update for me though. Like I genuinely could not be less interested in the T2 carrier.
Docking permission requested.
I mean, I love carriers, don't get me wrong as well, but the T2 one, it's like the T2 Dreadnought. It's because it's just like it's going to be one of those things that like 1 in 1,000 people that play Evil ever actually fly, and it does look at least kind of like it has more use case. But if I'm thinking from an FC's point of view, like when am I going to want to pull that out? And it's like, okay, well now what would have been a subcap fleet is going to be something where I have to babysit a carrier around. So the only time I think it'll really be particularly useful is in capital fleets as a alternative to a subcap boosting ship. Where the hell did I get all of this stuff in Amar? Okay, well, I've already got a buzzard, so hey, I mean, let's just buy a buzzard fit. I do not remember having this stuff here, but it's a problem once you've been playing for a while. I think this is one I use. Yeah, that's not a very good one. These are all like pretty naff fits. Which is even the difference? Oh, different finders. Okay, well, we'll buy this one. Which one's that one? Flighty Explorer Buzzard. And I'll get rid of the Buzzard since we already have one. There we go. Did I just get an achievement? That sound effect sounded different to usual. Okay, so let's go do the Caldari one. Activities, theaters of war, military campaigns, state corridor initiative, hack in Caldari bulwark. Now, I know this is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, right? Like I remember from the oh, look at all these different types you have to hack as well. Okay. But I remember from the like Christmas events, like the winter one, just how much of a pain in the ass it is to do this sort of competitive hacking. But I'm pretty good at it. It's been a while, but let's see. Navy or Tech 1? Oh, good shout, good shout. Hold on a second. Thank you. Let me check that. Good shout. Theaters of war. Okay. If so, then good shout. Here we go. Does it say anything about that? If not, I'll trust you, right? Like I'll trust you if you've tried it. Let's just get a heron. That would have been embarrassing. Although I'd be really close to Jita anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Academy Explo Heron. Perfect. Oh, that's a lot cheaper. Yeah, you might be right. I certainly feel like I've read all the patch notes, but my god, have there been a lot lately. So it wouldn't surprise me if I don't remember. Okay, let's get in a heron. Only pain in the ass that does give me is that I will probably not want to go through Abazon without a cloak. Let's just fucking full send it, and if I die in Abazon, we'll just buy another one in Jita, right? We're going that way anyway. They wouldn't kill a lowly heron, would they? Those lovely people in Abazon. Upstanding citizens. I could do an Astero. I like the Astero. I do like the Astero. But I know I'm gonna... I know I'm gonna mess that up. If it's, yeah, I could have taken the Astero through, but hey, we'll just do this. If I die, we'll just pod there. It's no biggie. They can't bubble me anyway. Let's see as well. Let's take a look at some of these achievements then. Because I'm going to be getting some while I'm going here. You can already see the ones that have recently progressed, and I think that's low-key kind of genius because this is how you find out the stuff you're already halfway towards doing. Okay. Oh, so this is the one that progressed. Yeah, so I got deep pockets. Spend 5 million ISK. Okay. That ain't the deepest pockets, but you know. Oh well. You gotta start somewhere. It's a shame that some of this stuff doesn't add up from before this patch, though, because some of these I would have absolutely destroyed at one point in time. Like, the one where it's like 10,000 signatures scanned down. Like, I used to do that stuff day in, day out, day after day, and not so much anymore. But I remember doing the math at one point, because there used to be an activity tracker. It wasn't the same as the achievements. There used to be like a personal activity tracker. And I remember at one point, I tried to do the math on how close I was to the 10,000 and like how long it would take me. And it was like, oh god, yeah, it was a real commitment. So the idea that now I've got to do that again, start from 0 if I want to get that title is, oh, it's painful.
Warp drive active.
Should keep out for an eye out for any other sort of unique stuff popping up. I'm not sure which places I'll pass in the meantime, but this is not a bulwark system, so shouldn't be anything showing up here, right? Borders low sec, but it's not faction warfare low sec. Just open up those patch notes again. Navy destroyers too. I kind of forgot that was a thing, but I basically don't use Navy destroyers outside of faction warfare, so I think I just kind of combined that whole part of it in my head with the rest of the faction warfare changes.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, new epic arc. It'll be interesting to see how CCP adjust the pace of the military campaigns. The first thing I noticed is that like 4 PM today, my time, or at least 4 hours after downtime, we'd already got like 8% of the Amar mining, or it might have been the progress on the plexing one, but we'd already gotten like a significant way through, which basically tells me that they might have underestimated how much people will want to do this activity. Maybe that's why they did the slow rollout, to be fair. Because if they'd have put all 4 out, and then suddenly they'd have sort of blown their load early on, and we sort of rammed through them, this time they can make adjustments to the amounts if they do them one day at a time. And I'm presuming that the same ones will come up twice. I don't think they can think of like 3 months worth of unique stuff to do. So I'm almost certain that in like a week or so, it'll just be mining Raspite again. But if they can find novel things to do, like, that'll be huge. Well, there's a moment of truth, right? I've got a warp core stabilizer as well. I mustn't forget to use that. I'll preemptively do that. Hey Matthew, you have a nice day as well. Yeah, I'll preemptively use my warp core staff. Because I have a feeling, right? We'll see. Here we go. Oh, it's busy in here. It's busy. Ah, nice. I'm on the gate. They ain't camping.
Warp drive
It's been a while since I
active.
camped Turbozon. I kind of forgot which gate they camp, but I'm guessing it's the other one. And I'm weak sauce, but I'm not weak sauce enough to die to like smart bombs right now, so I should be fine. We're good. Yeah, we're easy. We're easy. Where are they then? On the lore gate? Or just docked? Guess they must be on the lore gate. Now, I'll be honest, I hate Caldari space. All my tunes are Caldari, and I kind of feel like Caldari are the main characters of this game, and that's how I felt when I started, but I hate Caldari space, so... because it's way too busy. Hey, Liliana. But I'm anticipating that by going here, we're in the place with the busiest sort of people doing this activity, but I'm also pretty cracked out at scanning, or at least I used to be. So we'll give that a try, see if we can sort of compete. If I embarrassingly fail to get anything, then you didn't see it, right? Big day for patches today, though. I mean, I know Destiny 2 just came out with its final patch, right? So it's kind of a... there's a whole drama going on regarding that. Galente are clearly the main characters. I'll be honest. I'm not unbiased. I am not an unbiased person, right? I am very biased, but if I had to rank them on their main characterness, Galente would be at the bottom. It wouldn't even be close, I'm afraid. It would be like Caldari, Amar, Minmatar, Galente in that order, because Minmatar have like a really, really clear focus as an empire, I find, you know. Like, we come for our people is like one of the most badass slogans. And like, Amar has very consistent sort of like things they're going for and ideals and everything. Caldari has like Jita, but like comparatively perhaps slightly weaker characterization. Galente's just kind of there. Hi Bill and friends, how's Cal looking so far? Yeah, Cradle of War, it's looking I don't want to sound like a bit negative, right? But like, as is always the way with these expansion launches, like CCP or FC rather is great at like hyping these, but then the actual execution on the day can be a little bit not so great. There's nothing I've seen that I'm like have a problem with. Like I am very happy with like the stuff they're actually adding and like the content, but it looks like it's going to be a bit hard to participate on day one. But we'll see. Maybe that was just mining. I'm going to go and try exploration now. Maybe we'll find a site. Yeah, they're a bit bland. I think the history, right? I'm doing Caldari lore script right now, and Caldari lore is like really inextricably intertwined with Galente lore because they were basically allies for like the whole beginning of their history. They're one and the same for a long time. So they do have some cool stuff, but it's just like really it's really down in the weeds. Like you really have to read up on the lore to give a hell about it, honestly. Whereas Amar, it's kind of like straightforward, right? I did, for this stream, with the anticipation of doing Amar military campaigns, I did buy a bishop's hat, like a fancy dress bishop's hat. But then Eve Guru posted a video, and I decided maybe not to wear that. So here I am in the beret. But yeah, they're very clear. They're very clear. More like Caldaria traders and seditionists. Yeah, well, that was really interesting to read up on though, because I didn't realize quite how quite how complicated it is. Like I always thought of, to be honest, the Galente is like the goodies and the Caldari is the baddies, but like the Galente tried to like genocide the Caldari at one point. Like it was pretty bad. Yeah, the Galente used to have a bit more edge, but a constant diet of croissants and Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah, they're very... That's the problem, right? In a like dystopian, grimdark future where we have like sci-fi and lore and all that stuff. Like the last thing you want is like a democratic republic. It's kind of boring. Like it doesn't really go hard. I was glad they involved people in the diplomacy of the election stuff. Like I found that really cool. I didn't really participate very much, but it did look really cool. I have a personal theory, right? And I don't think Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I really think at some point soon we're going to get an Amar succession trial. So if you haven't seen my Amar lore video, when the Emperor or Empress of the Amar Empire dies, all the current heirs from the 6 different houses, they themselves, or through like an elected champion, which is usually a player rather than like an NPC, compete to be the next one. And maybe I'm just tinfoil hatting, but the Alliance tournament being hosted by the Amar this year, I really wonder if they're gonna kill off like Empress Khatiz and then like have the AT in some way intertwined with the succession trials. That would be super cool. I might be barking up the wrong tree though. I am extremely full of copium when it comes to the Amar Empire. This amount of the politics of our current age. I only want to play as a democratic state. Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I totally get it. Seems a bit... Was there a model update or something that I didn't catch? I mean, she's been the Empress for like 10 years now, and like we just had the 10-year anniversary, but I guess there's been like an edit I didn't catch. Also, holy crap, right? 45 people in the system. We're there. This is where the sites supposedly are. Let's go somewhere near the middle of the system where like all of these are in range to like descan and see how many of these pros are in scanning ships, because I bet it's basically all of them. I see references to like pre-spaceflight Amar, Minmatar, and Caldari history here and there, but I can't think of anything like that for Gallente. The Gallente were actually really interesting on that way. Like, I don't know everything about them because I'm looking at Caldari, but from what I understand, like, the Gallente were kind of really early on in their spacefaring. They had the Gallente, it was called like the Gallente Cultural Association or something before they were the Federation, and they made first contact with like the Intaki and the Caldari. Like they were kind of like the first spacefaring, like sort of, I don't, maybe Amar was first, but they were certainly one of the burgeoning ones. And like Caldari were comparatively primitive, and they have obviously a homeworld in the same system, so they just like hopped off from Luminaire, I think, and went to Caldari Prime and found the Caldari people and were like, oh, look at these guys, they don't know what they're doing, let's help them out. And now we have what we have. So it doesn't look like many of the people in this system are doing scanning. This is why I don't like HiSec though, right? What is happening here? A Procurer? Like, come on, guys. It's not, you know, like, just pick anything else that's going to mine quicker. There's a lot of scanning probes out, right? Lokis aren't going to be doing this, and I see 2 Herons, so maybe we have a good chance. Let's... Oh, there's not a lot of scanning sites. I didn't even buy a Sisters of Eve scanner probe either. I'm going to suck. Let's give it a try. Gallente, a bunch of French settlers. Yeah, they do have a French vibe to them. I like the French though, right? I'm fine. I'm not just saying that because Sludge is probably here. Right, let's give this a go. I have a strong suspicion that we'll get beaten to all of these. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, there you are, Sludge. Yeah, I have a strong suspicion I'll get beaten to all of these signatures. Yeah, it's a pretty star, isn't it, this purple one? It's a little bit burn your retinas out at that distance, though. Yeah, low probe launcher, yeah, that's the problem. Oh, that's a wormhole. I'll scan it all the way down just to get it out of the way. If that's a wormhole, there's only 2 other SIGs. I'm guessing that they're going to be not event things, and everyone here is just sitting waiting for the next signature to pop. And again, it makes me wonder, are CCP doing this like they do with gas sites, where like region-wide they have like a chance to respawn, or are they doing it like event sites where it's going to be like predisposed to this system? We'll find out. Hey, Wax2. Hey. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, look, another wormhole. Okay. This isn't boding well. This is not boding well. Okay. Wow, yeah, I suck without those Sisters of Eve probes. They're in the same solar system, like I imagine 1960s tech level Gallente looking at Caldari Prime through telescopes and seeing medieval cities. Yeah, it's hard to tell, right? That's the difficult part about some of the lore entries, is they say like, oh, the Gallente found the Caldari when they were primitive, and it's like, primitive by what standards? By now standards? Because that would encompass like us right now would be primitive, or does it mean like, you know, feudalism? Like, well, again, there's debate to be had there, but does it mean like, you know, medieval or Renaissance or like pre that, Bronze Age Caldari? I don't know. Also, there's like the Intaki, right, and the whole like different tribe stuff, because Caldari again are basically a race rather than like a nation at that point. And yeah, another wormhole. So we're basically shit out of luck on this as well. Unfortunately, being proved right on my hunch that CCP's launch day is always a bit tough to actually contribute. So let's try this one 3 jumps away. If nothing else, we're grinding cosmic signature achievement points, and that's what really matters. And yeah, Sludge isn't French, but he's in France, and that's close enough, right? It's like an asset. He's a foreign asset. So these ones are a little bit further away than the Amar ones too. They're a bit more spread out. I do not know the Galente Caldari faction warfare like layout at all, so I am flying 100% on satnav here. If I was in Amar space, I could just do this by feel, but we're gonna have to just trust the Theaters of War dashboard to get us to the right place. What are the other ones too, right? So that was, what's the other one the Caldari can do? Or available. All right, they have capture defend complexes. So that's the same as Amar. Galente have mine moissanite. I don't know how you'd say that. Mine Kangite. So they've all got a mining one except for Caldari. So maybe we'll get a chance. But the only event scanning sites in the busiest area of Empire space. Yeah, I know. That is a pain. I bet I jumped through this game and there's like 50 people in the system, right? There are some low sec achievements we can try and grind out or try and take a look at. They're certainly not campaign ones though. I'm really resistant to do the faction warfare plexing right now though, because 2 points. One, it'll be busy as hell. And second, I do not have all the right stuff in place. But the first point being the main one, it's gonna, if you think this is busy, faction warfare is gonna be absolutely rammed. Moissanite. Yeah, it could be it. That could be it. Moissanite. I prefer that. I don't think it's that, but I prefer it. Right. There's not even a single cosmic signature here, right? Just anomalies. Right. Talk about frustrating. Let's see what else. Oizio is next door. Oh, and Oshama as well. I'll add that as a waypoint. So we can check these ones out fairly quickly. And then Samanuni. Samanuni is a long way away. I'll add... Oh, that's a pain in the ass place to get to. We'll see. Doesn't seem that busy on the Galente side. Kinda tracks, if I'm honest with you. Kinda tracks. Maybe I'll have to go over there and leave behind all my previous allegiances to, like, never fly with them. Just for the sake of actually finding some event sites. Alright, so Oizio, this is one, and Oshama as well, Oshima. Come on, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Alright, there's 3 signatures. I don't rate our chances. Let's give it a go though, eh?
Warp drive active.
This better be progressing my cosmic signature skill, achievement rather. But yeah, this is like I said, it reminds me a lot of the Christmas event. Not so much the Halloween one. The Halloween one is the other major one that I do, but that one's like space, like it doesn't really matter where you are. Whereas the Christmas one has like very specific areas. So the first couple of days, it's always like this. I mean, this isn't going to be an event site, but again, I'm just kind of finishing it off. Yeah, Garista Hideout. Let's try this one. We'll see what we can get. Oh, and thank you, Sludge. I just saw your goatee comment. I'm on goatee mode lately. I'm not very good at shaving it though, so it's kind of a mess. Oh, fucking wormhole. Yeah, I think we're finding out live that having location-specific contribution is a little bit risky for this happening. I would also say that the amount of people I'm seeing in local is not that many. It's not like it's swarmed. I'm kind of worried that like this isn't going to be a whole lot better when people's hype dies down, because 25 people in a Caldari like 0.5 system seems very normal to me. I don't think that's just event hype. Let's see, maybe this one. Oh, I didn't even get a good scan on that one. There we go. I do not have much optimism at all. Is that Federal Intelligence exfil related, or is that something else entirely? I think it's something else. Let's have a look. See if it's mentioned, because it does have a big list when you click on here. Oh, it does say data exfil. Maybe that's like one of the sites. Maybe when I scan this down, it will be that, because maybe it's like faction warfare sites, like Plexes, where when you warp to it, it brings it up on the overview for everyone. We'll see in a second. Hey, Jasmine. We'll find out shortly. This is certainly a little bit harder to scan than the last couple. I'm kind of worried that this non-Sisters of Eve scanner won't be able to do it. I think we might be in trouble here. But I just want to see the name. I just want to rule out whether or not it's an event one. I can't imagine the military campaign ones being that difficult to scan. So I don't think it's that. Oh, I might have spoke too soon. This better not be. 9.11 AU. It's 2.7 to the Federal Intelligence exfil, so it's not that. Okay, what is this? Oh, it's a sleeper cache. We're good. Now let's go check out what this Federal Intelligence exfil is. Let me warp at 0 because it's an acceleration gate. Let me just look that up in case it's a thing that's been around for ages, right? And I just don't know about it. What is it called? Federal Intelligence exfil Eve Online. Okay, no, that does seem to be the new stuff. Yeah. T1 Navy Pirate. Okay, good. It makes you suspect, though. Okay. Right. What are the odds, do we think, of someone being inside waiting? Okay. It's a Helios right with me, I think. Yeah, he's here. What are we thinking? Is he waiting for me to go in? What's the chances you think this guy's fit with weapons? I don't see any blasters. He's thinking about it, though. Who is this dude? I didn't realize he's made you suspect. Fuck it, let's send it, right?
Warp drive active.
I don't have any weapons either, though, so it depends. He's just sat outside. Bit unusually. It's whether or not he follows me in that's the real question. Oh, there's a drone here. Only slightly concerning. So there's a few of these little... So these are empty cans, right? Yeah, these are empty cans. So I think this is stayed on the overview because the guy still sat outside. I think that's what's happened. Free Vespa, though. Let's grab that. Never say no. How much is it? Probably nothing, right? What am I doing this for? 41,000 ISK. Look after the pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves. Okay. Right, so that's another pain. That's something we've got to keep in mind then, is when we see them on the overview, it might just be that they've already been hacked and someone's still on the site, which is causing it not to despawn. So that's probably what's happening there. The guy outside has kept this alive. So I'm suspect right now, though. So this is a... Oh, okay. This is important to keep in mind. it's not just suspect in here. I have a suspect timer, but I don't have an engagement timer. So if I warp to this Asbel that I have docking rights at, will I tether? I should. I should. But I'm also curious if I lose suspect timer when I leave this grid. No. Right. So it is a 15-minute suspect timer. Interesting. Interesting. No, I should tether when I get here. I'm not gonna sit around tethered though, right? If anyone wants to shoot a suspect heron, they can feel free. But I'm just checking like what sort of interaction this is gonna create. Yeah, so I do tether. Cool. So it's just normal suspect, right? Let's go to our Shima. See what we can find there.
Active.
But at least now we know that's what it is on our overview. Ah, good point. Was that a Helios that was outside? So it can't go in. That'll be why he sat there then. Just as puzzled as me. There's only 8 people here. Let's go to this Fortizar so I can tether up since I am suspect. And let's have a little scan. Okay, there's at least... Let me expand that window out a little bit. How many are we looking at? Okay, we've got 5 signatures. That's given us some slightly better... Oh, I can ban that. That's given us some slightly better odds. Just killed a ship in a listed system and it didn't register. Okay. So we got some teething problems, I think it would be fair to say, right? I think that would be a fair way to put it. Okay, this is a relic site. Now I think they're all data sites, but I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Just check. I think it did say, it might have said data, relic as well, actually. Yeah, relic and data sites, so we could... Yeah, crumbling Gristis excavation. Hold on, that's just a normal one, isn't it? I can't remember what the high-sec ones are called. Are they called crumbling? I think that's just a normal one. Yeah, it's going to be exfil, so it's not that. Okay, that's just a normal one. I'm not about to go there. The high-sec relic and data site loot tables are worse than they've ever been, as I understand it, so I'm not about to spend time doing them. We're here for the event sites only. It would be a big shame if you really, at this point, cannot find anything to contribute with the military campaigns. But I know we are in EU peak time, so kind of rough. That's another basic one. We don't want that. Hey Jerko, I got your message. Sounds good. I'll take a trip over to Exordium at some point because it feels like the event is pretty difficult to take part in today. So it might be that we just have to go and check out Exordium, see what it's all about. I've been there a little bit. It looks pretty. I'm really impressed by the decision to kind of change up the sort of visual style of the mining belts especially. Very cool. And I know with the combination of funneling sort of new bros through the Empire arcs, like it's really good characterization of the Empires. The font changes they've done as well. Like I am like a kid in a candy shop now that I've gotten into lore, because it feels like there has never been a better time to get interested in the lore of the 4 main empires. We can stop looking at any of this deathless stuff that frankly never interested me in the first place, and we can pay attention to what I think is the strongest part of the game, the empires that you actually spend most of your time in if you're not living in nullsec. Yeah, I mean, like the drifter stuff just now and the deathless stuff, a little bit too convoluted for me. Like it feels like they just served the purpose of whatever FC needed for the event at the time, which is, you know, fair enough. That is how game design works, but you gotta give me some compelling reason to give a shit about them. And Zarzak was probably the first time that I sort of realized that trust could be broken. Because I was like, okay, new region, new lore, like, oh, it's gonna get really cool, let's get into it, let's like see what Zarzak's gonna be all about, and then it was just absolutely nothing, right? Nothing burger. It was just a Thera 2, but with extra steps. Hold on, did I just not pay attention? There was a Federal Intelligence exfil I just scanned. Let's warp. I looked right past that. Exordium is full of AO trying to recruit newbies. Well, even more reason to go there, right? And try and recruit them to not go to AO. To go anywhere else, actually, to be honest. Imicus Navy. You, my friend, what are you up to? That's fucking weapons. Yeah, this guy wants me to go in, I think. Oh, I didn't realize they made you suspect, and I'm already suspect. He could shoot me right now. The fact he hasn't is kind of surprising. Okay. Imicus navies can go in though, right? It's Navy. Let's go Exordium then. What's it called? Manifest is the main system? This at least cannot disappoint me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about getting to Exordium. You can just go there. I'm almost certainly going to lose this on the way. No, I won't. Should be fine. Curious to see how many totally new people come in after this update compared to the rest of the game's history. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the partnership with Google DeepMind, or whatever it's called, the AI partnership with Google, I think has the potential to attract a few people who weren't otherwise involved. I'm hoping that CCP used this sort of opportunity of getting like big bucks and getting their name back, like cutting away from Pearl Abyss to do a bit more outlandish marketing. Because, not that I'm an expert, right? Not that I'm an expert at all, but the marketing for Eve frustrates the hell out of me. Because it feels like the people who I look at and go, you would love Eve, like you're an Eve person, you're totally into this. They've never heard of it. And the people who have heard about Eve get a very misleading opinion because like they usually get their information from like an organic news piece, which is invariably like PC Gamer or Kotaku, which are, you know, giving sensationalist stories, which is cool. I'm fine with that, but the fact that Eve has managed to have such limited reach by its actual marketing team, it feels like kind of rough. I mean, I get Eve ads all the time, right? But they're on Z Killboard, which I think is hilarious. If I was them, I'd block their ads from showing on Z Killboard, because who is gonna be there who isn't already playing that game? That feels like wasted money to me. I don't think there's a lot of people browsing Z Killboard and going, oh, what's this EVE Online game people are talking about? Let's go to Exordium. One thing we can do there, for sure, is go into sites without getting in trouble. I wonder if my Exordium, if my suspect timer will be gone by then, because I think that'll prevent me jumping in. It's got about 5 minutes on it, and we've got about 8 jumps to do, so I reckon it'll be gone. Roughly about that time.
Active.
But yeah, I think we'll see if a few new people, but I whether or not they stick around, I think that's the much more important thing, is that as much as I am mad at EVE Online's marketing sometimes, I think it's less about the people that are... It's a lot less about the people that are coming and a lot more about keeping the people that were already coming, right? The people that came already, because I feel like almost everyone I speak to, they don't get EVE on the first go. It like takes them a couple goes, because I think everyone comes into EVE with a really misleading idea about what the game is. And then they join and they go, oh, it's that kind of game. And then they go away. And then they come back when they're in the mood for that kind of game. So... Like, I'm hoping that the new Exordium stuff will give people a chance to be like, oh, it's that kind of game, and I'm not going to die, like, the second I make a small mistake and put me off the game. If I recall well, Exordium on non-PvP zone, if you're a criminal or suspect, you ain't allowed to jump inside. Yeah, I believe you are right. I believe you're absolutely right. I believe it's going to stop me on the gate to manifest, but we'll get up. We'll get up there. We'll almost be out of suspect by the time we get there. Thanks, Domdog5309. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope, I don't know if people in here have watched my latest video I put out today about lessons from CEO stuff, but like I've been trying a slightly different style. I hope it came through a little bit. The editing style is a little bit more involved, and the voiceover was done extremely differently in a way that probably won't necessarily be that obvious, but was very obvious to me. So I'm hoping, even if it's just stuff that I noticed, that it is incrementally improving stuff. Oh, smart bombed. Did I just get taken all the way back to... Okay. Oh, I should have known that was coming, right? I got a little bit too comfortable. Oh, I can just jump clone way closer there. I have jump clones. Which is closer? Who does that belong to? Oh, I know what that is. I should have known warping gate to gate like that I was going to get got. Let's jump to Fancy. I'm trying to think. Fancy's... You only have to go through Genesis to get to the Concord space, so Fancy will be pretty close. Is it bad that it didn't seem stylistically new to me at all? What's that? What didn't seem stylistically new? I lost my train of thought getting smart bombed. Jump in to this Fancy clone. Yeah, I'm only 15 jumps from here. God damn it. All those years in low sec, right? Still getting got by the Macarial on the outgate. What kind of bomb was that? The one-shotter frigate? Macarial. The absolute king of smart bombing in that situation. Personally, I use a Praxis because I'm a wuss. I don't want to have like a really expensive smart bombing ship. They're like pretty expensive, but you fit them really... You can fit them pretty high damage. They're big. They're a big model, so that means just more range. And also you can fit them to get between gates so quickly. So the benefit really is, or at least I know some people that used to use them this way. The benefit is you could sort of chill on a gate with one tune, see where someone warped, and you could just warp after them, and you would get there before they did, and then be able to smart bomb them. I don't think that's what that guy was doing. I think that guy was just sitting there in the area anyway. But oh, CEO video, right. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I know that I'm going to notice it a lot more than anyone else, but the main things were, like, the way I did the voice recording was kind of all in one spoken way instead of just kind of like snippets, which made it feel a bit more natural to me. And a lot less dead air as well, which, you know, kind of has a bit of a... It's not necessarily a straight upgrade, but it's a slight change. But it was fun to make, and that's all I really care about at the moment, right? Like, I'm not too worried about anything other than having fun with it, and I'm certainly having that. But that's one of the reasons I set up a second channel, which I keep trying to like not pimp too much because like it's not about Eve, and it's like also really dead. It's like not something I'm trying to keep a strict schedule on or anything. But I want to mention it because it's like... It's interesting, at least I think, to be able to do content that's not just Eve and sort of use that to practice, because I think the problem is I'm getting into a bit of a groove with Eve, just doing like like flyby cinematic videos and stuff, which is all fun, right? But like it's a bit more of a challenge to cover other games sometimes, ones that aren't basically just wallpaper simulators, which this game is so good at. Yeah, and that as well. Even some of my corp mates didn't notice the like memes I was making about them in the video because they were watching them like on a different model, right? But they spotted them eventually. They were made aware of them. Let's put it that way. See, like I'm being extra cautious now, warping off pings just to avoid getting smart bombed twice. It's been a long time since I got caught by a smart bomb, but you know it's got to come for you all one day. Feels weird being here though. This is my old haunt out in Genesis. Spent a lot of time in Chedge, but no names I recognize because it's been a couple years. Yeah. If you listen to it, I think they're a lot more listenable the way I did it. To be fair, there's a lot less gaps, a lot more sort of listenable, but. Again, if you're just listening to it, then you're not going to notice it's different. You're just going to think, oh, that's fine. Which is all I can ask for, is that people think it's fine.
Warp drive active.
All right, we're almost back into high sec now. We're certainly not suspect anymore. Who was it that did that smart bomb? Let's see. Yeah, you can see. Oh, my God. Not just a Macarial smart bomb. Officer smart bombs as well. I'd love, this is one of those things, right? I kind of mentioned this in one of my videos, but like this is one of those things people get mad at and be like, oh, you're just killing herons, just fish in a barrel. Like, what's the point? But like, that's exactly the sort of shit I was doing not that long ago and would still happily do today. So I'm a good sport about it. I used to drop redeemers on ventures, used to drop carriers on retrievers, right? Like, it's all fun and games.
Warp drive active.
This is my old alliance staging an Anthem. It's been a long time. Second channel is called Billiam McPaid. It's in my on my channel page if you scroll down. Got clapped by the professional spot bar on that sync liaison constellation between Heck and Jita with Rancer in it. Maybe that's where I was. I don't know that area at all, right? Where was I? Onatar. Oh no, okay. Onatar. I don't think that's where Rancer is, right? Yeah, it's not. But yeah, I don't know that area very well, but there's always like a couple, aren't there, right? Like, they used to be in Genesis, I used to know them, but obviously they're not there anymore. But there's just a few systems where you go, oh, this is the one where I need to not warp gate to gate.
Warp drive
But anyway,
active.
we're in high sec now. We did the difficult part. We're almost there. It's almost all fun and games until someone drops a cap. What are you going to do that's so funny? I'm scared. Yeah, I was surprised we didn't see any caps out in Abazon, to be honest, but it might have been that we're on the law gate. You will know if it goes bad. That's the type of funny I like the least, is the type that I'll hear about if it goes bad. At least I'm not hearing about it now. Where, you know, what I don't know can't hurt me is a moniker I live
Warp
by.
drive active.
Very nice collection of ships there, Jerko. That looks good. Hopefully be able to appeal to some people and get them away from AO, who I'm not a fan of. It will not surprise you to know. Thanks for subscribing, dumb dog. Much appreciated. Waiting for the Diplo ticket, bang. Yeah, preach, same. Let me just open up this stream. Awesome. 7
Warp
jumps.
drive active.
It's not exactly been the most successful trip, let's be real. But at least we've taken a look. Is that who I think it is? It is. Thanks for the fleet invite. Awesome. Just going to invite some new people, I guess. Oh, I'm getting that bug that everyone's getting with chats looking weird. So my fleet chat's behind the Twitch chat right now, but I'm just joining a fleet with Jerko here. Is gonna give out some fully fitted ships for free to some people in Exordium. Hopefully we catch a few new bros that actually are new bros, right? I'm sure Exordium's pretty busy today. On the upside, Exordium has been actually accessible in the game for a while now, so I feel like a lot of the existing players that just wanted to go and have a little look at it have already been and done that. I know I have. So it should mostly be actual new players, but it's cool to have them all in like one place, or like a sort of you know, close constellation, easy to get between. Because what it was a bit of a pain before is that the starter systems are really far apart from each other. So if you wanted to like start playing with a friend and you both signed up and one went, oh, I want to play Amar, and the other went, oh, I want to play Galente, it would be an annoying way to get to each other. I think it's the same with Frontier, right? I've not played very much of it, but I saw that they did a sponsored stream with the Yogscast, and exactly that happened, basically. Two people started together and thought, okay, awesome, we'll go and play together, we'll go and do some cool stuff. And they were like an hour's flight away from each other. And that right there is Eve. And I know that's Eve Frontier, but that's the most Eve thing of all time. To be an hour away from each other and be like, right, well, we're going to have to find a way. What's the deal with AO? I think I remember it's like a gank reliance, but I get the feeling that's not the problem. It's a complicated one. I don't want to throw accusations of things that I might be misremembering or have construed incorrectly, but all I do know is they're kind of had some controversy. They have an attitude towards their new players that I am not a fan of. I can put it that way. and they have an attitude towards the players they keep around them that I'm also not very much of a fan of. But who knows? It has been a while. I don't know what they're up to these days, but I know their leadership hasn't changed. So let's put it that way. Okay, you're not doing the funny. It's good. It's good to know. One thing I will say that I can make an observation about AO that isn't super getting into the weeds on the controversy, but they take high-sec contracts, which is interesting. Like, they helped defend SRS, which I don't know if how long you've been playing Cerulean, but there was a big Amar area sort of high-sec war deck group that their entire thing was basically bashing people's high-sec structures and ransoming them, kind of bullying around newer players. And they would war deck, right, tiny corporations and then just sit on the Amar undock for, well, you know, like basically 23 hours a day and kill anything that undocked. And finally, some people around Amar, my alliance at the time, and a whole bunch of other alliances like Test and Arton, there were a few others that I'm forgetting now and feel bad for forgetting, but a few others decided to go and, you know, say, okay, let's take out their Fortizars, get them to stop fucking around with new players, essentially kind of borderline griefing, if I'm honest with you. And AO came and helped defend them. So that's a good enough reason for me to not like them that doesn't involve any of their more IRL controversy. Active. Okay, we're 2 jumps away from Manifest now. We're almost there. And once we're in, I'm safe. I'm safe from getting smart bombed. I can go to Manifest and I can see what the trade hub's looking like because I need myself a ship because I'm sitting here in my rather pretty looking pod. Hopefully drum up some conversation with some new players. I'm gonna hop myself a venture. Go and have a look around some of those mining belts, see if I could spot some friendly new bros.
Warp drive active.
Edencom Memorial to Triglavian Invasions. I've not seen that before. Hold up a sec. I'm a bit of a connoisseur of the, I don't know what you call these beacon locations. I have to use them a lot for getting good footage for videos, right? And I think they're some of the best sort of hidden gems of this game are some of these locations that are not like places you'd need to go for any reason. They usually have so much like careful, passionate design by the Eve like art team. So just before I jump in, I'm just gonna quickly take a look at that one because I don't think I've seen it before. Oh, there we go. I just want to check this one. Edencom Memorial to Triglavian Invasions. I've been playing actively since like the end of April, trying to get into EVE like 3 times since 2011 Crucible. Yeah, it was a good login screen. I wasn't around then, but I have since become a bit of a observer of all these different eras of EVE. Oh, this is pretty. I definitely haven't seen this before. You'll have to forgive my weird obsession with this sort of thing when there's like actual content to be looked at. What the hell is that? Hold on, let me go into tactical camera. What is that? That's kind of new, right? I like when the Eve teams, like art teams, kind of like make ships out of these structure things, because this kind of looks like a ship in itself, right? But it's kind of like all industrially, and obviously we've got like an NPC Fortizar here, and then this kind of looks like one of those Paragon stations. Anyway, enough ogling the artwork. I'll go to Manifest now. But yeah, if you've been playing since 2011, like that's the funny thing though. You said, you know, been trying to get into it 3 times. That's the way it always is, and that's what I'm hoping Exordium fixes, because it has been. I tried playing EVE in 2018, and I made the worst mistake possible. I went to the r/EVE subreddit where everyone was saying the game was dead and not to bother playing, and I thought, oh, okay, well, I don't want to play a game that's dying, and I didn't come back till 2022. Elevated security. Yep. It's all good. So I didn't come back till 2022. It did kind of look like a mini refinery. It reminded me of the Tatara. Here we go, though. In Manifest. Now this whole area, again, I'm going to get a little bit silly about some of the art here. Oh, look, hold on. Are these new people? Are these already new people? Like, what are like a bunch of Corvettes doing here? I mean, they're just... The thing I forgot And you notice this very quickly if you hang around the old starter systems, and I bet we're going to see it again here today. You find so many people just drifting off the undock in their Ibis or in their new bro ship, and I suspect the reason these guys are here is because like they've clicked jump, and a little pop-up has come up to say, hey, if you go out here, it's going to be dangerous, and now they're Googling, like, should I go to Uli? Should I leave? Should I leave Manifest? Is it safe? Or it's just a bunch of people's ults, and I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself. Let's go dock up in the trade center and actually get a ship. Okay, so I have not actually seen this trade center since it's been fully built. I know you could quite easily see it on the test server. Oh, what is this? Beautiful. Nice little intro. I mean, it was a little bit jarring how they delivered that intro segment, but it was pretty, so I'll allow it. So let's just pick up a ship, or at least take a look at what sort of ships we have around here. I want to pick up a Venture if I can, so that I can sort of go into some of these mining belts, see if I can find some fellow new bros. CCP in here as well. I don't know who CCP Merker is. I can't picture that person. Oh, my favorite person, Corp application label. Right. Yeah, aura farming with that intro. I like that description of it. It did kind of feel that way, didn't it? Oh my god, I have so many Venture fits. Now, I'm hoping the market here is quite mature and has plenty of stuff on it already. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Academy or Venture. There we go. Yeah, go Ventures. Am I right? Yeah, so it's if I remember correctly, you are limited from going into the ore sites in Exordium unless you're in a Venture or a Corvette, because they come with a mining laser. So I think I'm right in saying that. We're going to go and check one out though, because I think they are absolutely beautiful. Let's have a look. Not here. The map, which is also beautiful by the way, but I've done enough glazing for the 2D map. I do not need to do any more. Let's go to the MR quadrant, because you know what kind of fanboy I am.
Warp drive active.
So we'll go and take a look. There are so many people out here. Now, I haven't tried doing the new bar experience, obviously, since this new update. That would be kind of crazy if I had time to do that already. But I am curious to see, because I don't know where they actually start. From what I understand, they still start in that sort of Empire space, in the Empire's like quadrant area. And then they get out into the neutral ones, and then perhaps towards Manifest towards the end of the new bar experience. I think that's right. So I imagine the new bros that we see in Manifest have already done like a bit of their new bro experience. But I'm going to go check out further in here the Amar area and see if we find some like this. Maybe this is where the new bros actually start. Like maybe they're at the right at the very edge. Let's put that as our destination. I'm never going to remember any of these places because they're just never going to come up any other time. But Ichora or Ikora. Good news, Bill, I did the funny and it looks like no ticket for you. Awesome. I'm glad, and now you'll never have to tell me what it was that you did. In fact, I would ask that you never, ever do. That's my personal request. Okay. Right, so this is the first... Oh, you got the little Amar Empire pop-up as well with their new font. Only Eve can make me this excited about a font. Oh, hold on, there's already asteroid belts here. Let's go take a look.
Warp drive active.
See if we can find some folks. Not gonna lie, the game needed a tutorial island for new people from a long time ago. Yes, you're so right, and I'm glad, because the problem I think holding it back, right, and I know I'm gonna be sort of calling out some people when I say this, but the there's been this kind of attitude around Eve that's like, well, back when I started playing, there was no tutorial. You just, you know, it dropped me in the middle of nowhere, and I had to fly through the gates uphill both ways. There's kind of that mindset that's, I think, been holding people back a little bit. There's no one here. Let's go to the other one. Is there one on D-scan? Oh, hold on. Oh, it's in Paris. It's Adventure. Maybe they're at the other one. Let's go take a look. But yeah, there's been a lot of mindset where it's like, oh, you know, I didn't need a tutorial. And it's like, yeah, because you were one of the, like, 2,000 or 3,000 people who have been playing for 20 years, right? That's not a good thing or an amazing thing. It's great that you're still playing, but think of the amount of people that could be playing if they had a tutorial island. So I'm so happy to see them introduce Exordium. It is genuinely one of the best things they've done for the game in a long time. And even better, it's completely optional, right? You know, if you want to just leave, if you want to just go out and go straight into the sandbox experience, there is nothing stopping you. I think that would be a very silly way of doing things, but there is nothing stopping you. Is there any friends in here? Where are they? There's definitely some on my D-scan. Where is this fella? He's within 5 AU. Is he just at a belt? That would be kind of adorable. I think he's at the station. But anyway, look at this. Look at these new sites. I again am absolutely fawning over some of the art design team stuff here, because just look at this. Why on earth we can't have stuff this pretty outside of Exordium, I don't know. Maybe this will be the start of something, but like this is amazing. Like the NPC ventures and stuff is, you know, you don't need that everywhere, but yeah. And yeah, like you said, World War II bombograph thing, it's confirmation bias. Yeah, these people are like, well, I didn't need a tutorial, but the people who did need a tutorial are not here to say that they should have had a tutorial because they stopped playing. So what do we actually have here? So this 0 grade is the bad stuff, right? Like the absolutely worthless garbage. Let's find out. Wow, I thought it was going to be like a tiny rock. I thought it was going to be really small. That whole thing. Damn. I made a Sebia store and put me in one of the Concord systems on the north side of Central Ring. Ah, so it put you up here. Interesting. So maybe it starts you in those systems and then you go to your sovereignty systems. Seems it's not what I expected, but interesting. Also on the north side's unusual because like that's the Minbatara down here, right? And that's Sebia store. So I don't know, maybe I know they said that they'd have them on like a cycle, so like anyone who joins for like this hour will go to this system, so that if you start with friends, no matter what empire they're in, they'll be in the same system as you. So maybe that's what that's about. So this is the kind of garbagey. Yeah, I can't compress, obviously. This is the kind of garbagey, useless one. Yeah. Ah, hell, there's still people trying to sell it at a very ambitious price, I imagine, here in Manifest. We've got NPC ventures around here too. Let's go and try then. If you say that you started at the corner, like these Concord ones, let's try. Oh, hold on. I bet there's what am I doing? There's a much easier way of doing this. Not personal activity. Let's see. No. It's going to be under geography or something, or statistics. Average pilots in space last 30 minutes. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so I can see what you're talking about. So it looks like currently the two systems New Bros are starting in are Venerate and Metal. So let's go over there. And I wanted to say harass them, but obviously not actually, right? Go and say hello. Oh, this is actually way better too. I can see where people are. You can very kind of clearly see which systems they're being directed to as part of their mission. So I can see here in Tungna, a whole bunch of people. So let's go up to Venerate. Survivorship bias. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not confirmation bias. I think it's survivorship bias. But yeah, if you're anyone who's just checking this out and isn't familiar with like the new patch stuff, Exordium is absolutely gank free, no fighting under any circumstances. The only kill mails you'll find for Exordium are accidents. Like ones where optimistically the EVE Online team will patch it out. There were a few people who managed to make their way around it early on. But hopefully that's all fixed now. I think it was an issue with getting some people to not shoot each other when they're faction warfare flagged, I think it was. There was some loophole. But we're past that now. Oh. Okay. My Eve crashed. That's a good start. Let's try that up again. Doesn't like Exordium. Just left here in this void. Metal is one of them. So we're going to check out Venerate, and then Metal will be the one we take a look at after. Luckily, they're next door to each other. Ooh, I should probably switch off this source for a second. Just because it's going to show my other... It's going to show my other tunes, which I don't really want it to do. Give me 2 seconds.
Connecting.
There we go. Wow, that killed that real hard. Bill paid. There we go. Almost there. I think in the last... Oh god, how long have I been playing Eve? Last 4 years, I've never had a crash that hard before, actually. Is there anywhere I could have found a link to your Twitch channel? Potentially, you could have found it on my YouTube. Maybe. I can't remember. I am multi-streaming this for the first time. I know most people will be here from YouTube, because that's the only place I'm usually active. This is the first time I've streamed on Twitch in about 10 years. But we're trying it out. And so far, so good. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is where the new people are starting. Look at all these people. There's like 50 people in here. Okay. Now, admittedly, these people are probably a little bit too new to be like throwing ships at. But I want to go and see them. It's like watching turtles run up a beach, you know? It's got its appeal. What's this? Why is there like a procession of Praxi here? Who are you? Who's this? There's just a bunch of Praxises out here. Oh yeah, thanks for that re-invite, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's a procession of Praxises just lining this undock, which is so unusual. I don't know who these people are. I don't know why they're doing it. Are they just out here to try and recruit? Maybe. But there's like one Reaper in comparison. Who I think is with them, because he's sort of right following them. Okay. So where is everyone? Are they all in the station? No way, right? No way there's 53 people in there. Or are they all at like mission locations like Dead Space? Let's find out. Because that seems crazy. Practice want to flex for the new fellas. Yeah, I'd find that so confusing. I don't know why people do that. People do that in Jita as well, or Amar, where they'll be like, I'm just going to sit out here and flex. It's like, guys, come on. We all got one of these for free in like April. But the new people don't know that, right? So that works. How many people are in here? 32 in station. And these are new? Yeah, these are all new people. Well, we know where they are now. I tell you what, though, you can see, like, this game is having some instability today. Look at all these people called, like, corp application label, and local is loading. All kinds of weird, so... Looks like it hasn't been particularly swimming on CCP's or FC's side either, as well as our side. We're trying to get some of the new content done, which has been a challenge. So these are the brand new people. They're just sitting in the station looking at their, like, pop-up tutorial windows at this point. Cool, cool. All managed asteroid belt. What?
Warp drive active.
So this is like NPC asteroid belt managed. Let's go and take a peek. Maybe there's some people there. Again, such beautiful space. It's kind of dark for high sec, no? Like, kind of looks like null sec, or it doesn't look like low sec even. It's real dark space. I'm a big fan. Let's have a look, see if there's anyone here. Nope. What about there? No, there's no one in these places. Okay. Let's go, in that case. Where are the sovereignty? Is it I'm looking for? Yeah. So it was down here we saw there were a whole bunch of people. And what we'll do... Statistics... We'll go here. There should be a place to mine. We'll just get some mining with some of these fellas in the system. Let them come to us. I don't think chasing them around is going to be that much of a successful strategy. Is that background the old captain's quarters? It might be. I'm not 100% sure. It's from the Eve press kit. They offer 3 different backgrounds. They offer this one, a Caldari one, and like a Foxcat one. I just thought, this being my classic Amar fanboy, that this would work. I almost said Amar fanboy then. I'll be 100% honest. Something on the mind. I had to pause. I had to check myself. Rigger, and then so we go Rigger, and then we go Vatna. I'm gonna have to get used to these places. Rookie help is gonna be on fire today as well, with ISDs not knowing much more than those people. Artugoja Matsu, glad to see we've got a new player in our fleet here. That's joined and is taking a ship. Awesome. In fact, I'll move my fleet chat over here because it's nothing we need to hide. You can see people joining the fleet, getting their stuff. Can't get ganked here either. Don't need to worry about that. Because having the bowhead here, I'm sure, is a little bit worrying. But not in Exordium. No problem. I would say for anyone who hasn't played Eve who's watching, this is your opportunity to get a free ship, but I don't think there'll be anyone that fits that criteria, to be honest with you. 1 down, 82 ships to go. We'll get them. It's finding the people who are not that new that they don't have a clue why someone is trying to talk to them, but also new enough that they care about a free ship, which is a lot of people. It's just finding them, right? So now imagine the obligatorily geriatric Amar male and the Amazon Basics fanboy fit. Oh, that's brilliant. That is hilarious. Yeah. I don't have no words to reply to that. That is hilarious. Oh, God. The Amar are weird like that too. I can't remember how long they, like, I'm trying to think, because they obviously, I know you said like the geriatric Amar male, but like, oh my goodness. Where is, yeah, because they have like a sacredness of the flesh thing that's real weird. It's like a whole thing that if you look at too hard, it's kind of a little bit strange. Republic managed asteroid belts. Oh, I thought that was fleet. Okay, it's like a bunch of people. What was that? There's fucking femboys here as well. I can't get away from them. I knew that caught my eye for a reason. Duct Tape Terry. Some great new names in here. Dang, I totally forgot to put some exotic dancers and slaves into the ships. You know what you should have in this very Amarian. Oh, is it not called Scriptures? What's it called? Is it called the book? It's not the Boo Book. That's something else entirely. I'm trying to remember. Is it Book of... Oh, there's a scripture. There's a scripture item somewhere that I can't remember. I used to carry it around in Faction Warfare space.
Warp drive active.
Oh, what would it be under? Wouldn't be under trade goods. What would it be under? Consumer products? Might be a bit general. Industrial goods. Yeah, there was some sort of Book of Amar scripture you could carry around. Oh, look, some new people. They're in ventures as well. Who are you? Less than 1 day. Less than 1 day. I'm a little worried. That because I am minus 0.9 sex status, and I know the default overview will probably put a little yellow skull next to me, that I might inspire like the wrong reaction from some people. But let's just hang out with these folks mining. Where's my local chat? Oh, there's a mining standing fleet. They're trying to get some people here. Exordium Mining Collective. I wonder what that's about. Interesting. Now I did a video on Exordium, and this was something I hadn't considered. I'm not gonna lie, and it's a real massive oversight from me. But I didn't even think about the fact that there'd be some new bro focused corporations that only operate in Exordium. And I'll be honest, I rate that highly, and it's kind of like, I like that because there's not really a way they can fuck them over, I guess, right? Like you can't just get ganked. It's like a good opportunity for them to get involved in that stuff. How many people are in this corp? Probably very small right now, yeah. But nice, I'm glad that's a thing. I don't know as it'll be, what's important to me about those sorts of corps, and it's the same with any high-sec sort of new bro-focused corp, is that they have like an end goal to sort of transition you out of just chilling around like in Exordium, because this is not the place that CCP want you to be sat playing the game. Bellbook, new ult. Yeah, that's a good one. But they wear that just at night. They wear that just at night in their dungeon. Yep. Absolutely. There was definitely some signs that the Amar lore was written in 2003. I'll put it that way. When I did the lore video, I was actually quite shocked that it got monetized. I mean, I think I said the word slave like 40 times in that video. I was like, okay, I don't think that's gonna get monetized, but it did. Most of the others so far have not had that problem. Oh, does everyone in New Eden do life extension tech except the Amar? So every Capsteer is in their 80s, but only the Amar ones look like they are. Pretty much, but not entirely. Now, there are, like, if I remember rightly, there are technologies that a lot of them do use to sort of extend their life and stuff, and the Amar are very big on not doing it. But one of the other big ones that I think raises a lot of questions is that I think a lot of them extend their life, quote unquote, by like cloning themselves. So like they just like have a sort of bank of clones that they can just use as their like alternates or whatever, which I know at least one Amar like heir has done, but there's obviously a really big deal that they don't do that. But I think other groups do, and I think, I wonder if I could look it up. I wonder what they're called. Let me take a look at the let me have a look at what that person was, because I know who it was. The Sacred Flesh Amar lore. Let's read up on it. Accidentally getting a history lesson on Amar. Yeah, royal flesh is considered sacred, right? So it might just be the royals. And it says, thus cloning the whole body is believed to make the sacred flesh impure. So you can't do that. So if I go to the cloning section, high quality clones within the Federation. Clones are a luxury commodity in high demand, with lots of illegal clone clinics. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool sort of grimdark lore going on in EVE that I'm a massive fan of. I'm a big fan of the way they've done some of that stuff. Isn't the Empress some sort of drifter clone? I'm unclear on that lore. Not the current one, I think. I have to refresh my memory. There was some controversy about the current one, but I don't think that kind of controversy. Yeah, so unfortunately, a lot of the lore is really frustratingly not up to date. And like, I know there's only so much they can do, but a lot of it's sort of written as if Khatiz is not even the Empress, and she has been for like 10 years, right? So they've had time. I mean, right now, if you look up Khatiz Tashmakon on the lore, it'll say, Khatiz Tashmakon, the youngest child of the late David Tashmakon, is the leader of the Tashmakon royal house and the most wealthy person in the empire, right? So it doesn't even say that she's Empress right now. So that gives you an idea what we have to work with. But yeah, it's not her, it's Empress Jamil, I think. Jamil Sarum, it would be. Let me look her up. Because I'm pretty sure it's Jamil. Yeah, Jamil first. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, apparent death. So Jamil Sarum refused to allow death to defeat her through the doctrine of sacred flesh, forbade her from cloning. She secretly arranged for her survival. So she's the one with a lot of the controversy. Now, Khatiz is Tashmakon. Jamil is Sarum. She was Empress Jamil the First. Now, I have to look up now. List of Amar Emperors. I was looking at this webpage like 1,000 times. I should pull it up on stream in a second, but I don't think I'll need to look at this much more. Yeah, so it was the last one. Jamil First was the last one. So yeah, the previous emperor. You thought Jamil was still the empress? Yeah, yeah. So you were right. Yeah, the one that was when you were emperor, when you were last playing or last saw it. Jamil is yeah, she was like a controversial clone sort of situation. But very cleverly, the Sarum family were like, "Oh, she's back from the dead. That must mean God loves us," which is one way of playing that, right? She was like, oh yeah, that must mean God loves us so much, and therefore she is the best possible candidate to be the Empress. Pax Amaria. Yes, Jerko, you're right. It is Pax Amaria. It's that one. Yeah, we should be carrying that around. Written by Hydaran VII, the Amar Emperor himself, Pax Amaria is the most remarkable book published in the last century. In it, the Emperor writes about his hopes and dreams for peace throughout the galaxy, a vision that has propelled him into becoming the champion of improved interstellar relations. Right, okay. So it's not the scripture, which again, that was something I learned when doing the lore video. I always thought like the Amar scripture was just kind of like space Christianity, to be honest. It kind of gave that vibe, and I thought, because this was the book like Pax Amaria, I always thought this was like the Amar Bible. It was basically just a one-to-one of like space Christianity. But it turns out no, the Amar scripture is absolutely ginormous, like no one knows it all kind of levels, like absolutely huge, which is very convenient when you're writing a story, because that means you can always find new stuff. I just searched the scriptures. I probably need to specify EVE Online. Yeah. The scriptures are books of religion, words of faith, words of morality. The Amar scriptures are not a single book, but rather the name given to the collective holy texts of Amar. They are not limited to just religious dogma. They describe everything from out-of-date codes of behavior to early technological dogma. So yeah, I think you get a couple of bits and bobs. If you look it up on the EVE Lore website, you'll find some of the scripture, which if you read it is definitely written in a way that's kind of supposed to be similar to the way like the Bible is. But there are a lot of them. It's like a lot. Yeah, there exist many different books of the scriptures. Some have later been deemed apocryphal. So again, just like real life religion, right? Some of it isn't in the current zeitgeist. Yeah, the full scriptures are far too massive to collect in one place. The Book of Records alone consists of millions of individual tomes. Now, I don't like that, because if you know what the Book of Records is, you know that that's kind of cheating. The Book of Records is just a list of the names of absolutely everyone who lived in the Amar Empire, including slaves. Maybe it's just after they get liberated. But that's like trillions of people. That doesn't count. That's like that bit of the Bible that says like so-and-so begat so-and-so begat so-and-so. What exactly is the Amar religion? I'm unclear. Their god is the same as the Abrahamic god. They kind of use the same language about it. It's almost certainly not the same, right? Like it is different, but they do have like a monotheism, if I remember correctly again. They have a good page on that, to be fair. Let's have a look. Amar, Faith, Eve. Authoritarian imperial state, of course. Yeah, monotheistic expansionist religion, devotion to a singular supreme god. So yeah, it is monotheistic in the same way, but it's not the Abrahamic god. It's just kind of very heavily inspired. Taoist sacred text. Now, well, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the US versus the UK Constitution, right? Like the US Constitution is like a really strictly written piece of material, and then the UK Constitution is like a really like general conglomeration of lots of other things that are constantly changing and evolving. Early technological dogma: thou shalt not close the neutron reflector hemispheres together. yeah, I like that description of it. There's certainly some interesting lore in there. I haven't read the scriptures. I'm not a scripture specialist for the Amar one. I'd presume it'd be whatever you can expect from an Abrahamic religion, given 20,000 years and being cut off from Earth. Exactly. So they definitely have some kind of like connection. I mean, it's just such an interesting lore again, because the obvious question that begs, right, is, are we influenced by like a 20,000 year ago thing when we look at our religions, right? And that's kind of what this game's trying to imply, which is cool. It's an interesting thought experiment. We're about to have a full mining hold here. Thanks for that shout out and fleet as well there, Jerko. Let's see, I saw someone picked up a ship. Marbet Palion. Nice one. Is that a new player? Yeah. Someone just coming back, it looks like. Maybe they tried out a couple of weeks ago and come back. Glad to see them pick up a ship. And our cargo hold is full. So one thing I want to sort of take a look at here as well, there are no player-owned structures in Exordium. Das ist verboten, as they say. That is not allowed. So I'm presuming that most of the NPC stations have reprocessing. So the one here does. You have to do everything in the NPC station, which is cool, I think, in terms of accessibility. But if I was to try and teach the new bros, I do think it would be cool to have some NPC versions of the Upwell structures. So having like an NPC Titara, an NPC Athenor, we don't really need the others, to be honest, but they're key, just so that people can learn what they are. Because if they get used to this and then they go and they go into normal cave space, they're going to be a bit surprised when they might have whole systems without NPC structures in them, or ones without the necessary services they're looking for. But maybe it tutorializes that, and I just don't know. Right? I need to do some new player experience checking, so let's do a little reprocessing. It's been a long time since I've done this kind of thing. Wow, it really is garbage, isn't it? That O grade stuff. 52,000 tritanium. Yeah. Let's go back to Manifest and pick up a hacking ship and see what kind of explo sites they get out here. Probably not much better, but it's got to be better than that. That's really funny. Let me can I fit this? I won't be able to fit that back in the mining hold. I'll leave it there. I'll jettison it out at some point just for some new bro to find. I wish there was an anti-slavery Amar splinter faction. I like their ships, but I can't deal with the slavery RP. I totally get it, and again, it does reek of 2003 like writing. Not that it's not like sort of well engaged with at times in the current lore, but yeah, I was very active in the Amar faction warfare militia for like a couple of years, and there was certainly some characters there where it was like, okay, that's not okay. Have they added D-scan to the actual in-game tutorials? Yeah, I don't think so, to be honest. I mean, it points to it. There's a lot of user interface pointers now that are doing a lot of heavy lifting. But I don't think it really makes you use it. I had the same problem with actually scanning and like the actual exploration missions, is that they tell you like, oh, here's how you scan, but they don't really force you to do so. So I'm just checking out these names. Bisexual Morpheus. Love it. I love some of the names. Who the hell is this? 8 months and 7 days. Who were you with before that gave you all of those? Ah, Horde. Okay, I was supposed to say this person's got tons of decorations. I never understand what's up with the dates in Eve. Some years are like 22,000 AD and some are like 227 years. What calendar do they use? Yeah, so the big ones are like 22,000 ones. They are AD like how we know AD. So like, 20,000 years from now. The ones that are like YC 128, I guess it is now, if I remember rightly, if I got it the right way around. Those are YC for Yule Conference, YIOUL. It's like a big lore event. I mean, if I look it up, we can have a little exploration together of this. Yule Conference Eve. Yeah, so the conference between the 5 empires, and you're going to have an interesting one when you find out what the 5th one is. The Yule Conference is the universal calendar of the New Eden cluster. It was created under Concord treaties that govern universal time between the 5 empires, Amar, Minmatar, Kaldari, Galente, and Jove. And the reason it was called that is because it was a conference that was held on a Jove cruiser called Yule, which is interesting because the Jovians are kind of a whole deal in Eve.
Warp drive active.
They're like their own thing that they're like their own thing that are basically like they have their own lore that right now is very mysterious, and unfortunately they're kind of used as a bit of a Deus Ex Machina right now, in my opinion. There's always been a teasing option that we might one day get to see what the Joves are actually up to. But it's really confusing to me that we have so much mystery around them. If they were so heavily involved in the empires like 130 years ago. It really wasn't that long ago. And yet we know what the Amar Empire was doing 20,000 years ago. It doesn't make any sense. Just realized that that's no Navy Geddon next to me here. That's an Imperial Geddon, one of the only 4, I think. Oh, have you? Yeah. Yeah, because people are going to be flying their crazy, ridiculously expensive ships around, aren't they? I hadn't even thought about that. Arguably one of the most interesting parts of the lore, the MacGuffin calendar, yeah. BC, AD, UIC, the 3 calendar epochs of Eve, yeah. They're 100% a Deus Ex Machina. Use them more, goddammit. Yeah. Exactly, that's the problem, right? If you're going to make it mysterious, you're going to make them sort of resolve all your stories, then actually use them. And if you're not going to use them, stop teasing that you're going to use them. And in my opinion, they would do well to use the things they've already set up rather than making new stuff, because the Deathless and the Drifters, right, again similar in the mix sometimes, but the Deathless especially, like there are these new mysterious characters being introduced, and we already have mysterious characters, and the mystery is not being resolved. Let's buy another Heron, and we'll take a look at some of the exploration sites here. No MWDs. That's a problem. Oh well. Actually, that is a problem. Can I... Really? They got like a meta version of that? 5MN. They got like a meta micro warp drive. Yeah. Oh no, they got the T2. Yeah, they got a meta one. Okay, good. I'm not flying a Heron without the bloody MWD. Would be here all day. Right. It's gonna flag that I can't fit everything. Yeah. So I need to get in the ship. Don't need to give it a name. For some reason, I'm now getting this intro. We flew a Heron like an hour ago. I won't complain. It's a cool intro. Didn't know it was designed by the Issue Community Corporation. That's something I want to do when the Amar Law stuff is kind of past, maybe, is like look at some of the corporation law specifically. I tried to do some of that with the Amar Corporation. Some of them are super interesting. Jove already died out from Jovian disease. They just don't tell it. They just don't have the spoons to tell us. Yeah, feels that way. Fit ship. That's fine. And it should have everything fit except for the MWD. Yep. Okay, then I'll manually put this meta MWD on. Slap the core scanner probes in, and let's go see what they have. Yeah, because at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, like the Jove space is physically out there. I know some people like managed to use an exploit to actually get in there at one point, but not anytime recently. Right, so there's a bunch of new people here. How are we doing, Jerko? We got any new people joining? Yeah, Marbet Pelion. Still here. Over 7,000 systems. Yeah, I remember how crazy... I mean, you don't have to remember how crazy Big Eve is and like sort of remember how that felt as a new bro, because now, with the new expansion, you can go Paragon Service Achievements, and one I will absolutely be getting. Let's take a look at it. Exploration. You can go Blessed Pilgrim, visit all of the different systems in Amar space. State Surveyor, all the different systems in Keldari. And then there are ones, yeah, Federal Cartographer. Where's the other one? There is another one. Tribal Trailblazer. Yeah, so you can visit them all, like all the Empire ones, and get a achievement for going to all of those. So if you want to have that same feeling of awe about how big the game is, feel free to do that now, and you can get titles from it as well. Where are we then? So... there's not going to be any here. Let's find a place. Where do you think we could find some exploration? I would say, and again, because I'm not biased at all, that we go into the Amar area, try there. Jovian implies the Jupiter of our solar system. What happened to the Terrans? Yeah, so the Terrans, which they are kind of called the Terrans in this lore as well, they are the ones that came through. Like, what happened basically is that I might get some of this wrong, so don't hold me to it, but we discovered like a wormhole, as it were, that we could go through and get to New Eden, which obviously we named, I presume, from the biblical sense. And at some point that connection collapsed. So all these people that came from Earth that had the technology got cut off from Terra. And that's everyone basically is from there. Like all of these people in space are just descendants of tribes of installations. Some of them were like from different places, right? But they're all just kind of descendants of Terrans, as I understand it. I don't necessarily know if that's true of all of them. I don't know if that's true. Maybe the Jovians, like you say, have something to do with Jupiter in our solar system, as suggested by the name. Let's give it a look, shall we? Why leave it up to unknown when we can just look it up? Jovian Eve Online. Yeah. See, this is the bit that already annoys me. Let me show this on stream. The Jove Empire is isolated. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the Jove Empire has always been a mystery to the other nations of New Eden. And yet they were one of the 5 empires of the Yule Conference? How does that make sense? Yeah. But they say, yeah, unsettling appearance of members of their race. So it does sound like they're perhaps not Terran. Inhuman lack of emotion. Disturbingly symmetrical facial features. So they're like a whole other thing. I mean, this is kind of a pretty shit picture to have as the top of your lore of the most mysterious empire. It's just that weird symbol. But yeah, been civilized longer than any other race in the world of New Eden. Gone through several golden ages. And then, yeah, mainly because of Jovian disease. They're a pale shadow, psychological disorder that's always fatal. So yeah, there's like a little bit of information we have. But not really very much, right? It's kind of a bit silly, if anything. I really just wish they'd give us either some detail about them or actually use them. So there's no scannable sites here, hopefully in the next system over. So who's this person pitching Young Miners Christian Association? I don't know who they're with. I recognize them. I've seen them around before. My understanding is that they are humans, or at least used to be. They just fucked off to their own corner and went ham on the genetic manipulation. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's been 20,000 years, right? Like, anything can happen. It's kind of nuts how long it's been. There's one cosmic signature here. Let's take a look and see what that is, because then... yeah, it can't be cloaked. Let me just warp to one of these stations. I can presume that the only signatures we're going to get here in Exordium are going to be like New Bro focused things. I don't think we're going to find anything else. So let's see if they are these new ones, or at least these ones designed for New Bros. What I don't think it's going to be is just a normal high-sec site, and if it is, I'll be kind of disappointed. But maybe I'm about to be disappointed. It's a relic site in any case. There's no one else in local, so I'm not stealing this from another New Bro. I don't want to do that. Crumbling Blood Raider Antiquated Outpost. So it is basically just the same as the normal high-sec ones. It's been a couple years since I've done any sort of high-sec explore. Capsular pod technology came from Joe. Read about it in a short story, Wet Grave, I think. I need to catch up on some of those short stories. I think CCP or FC as they are now, right, are missing such a trick by not like putting a lot of these stories into a book, where you can read them all together. There's someone out there who's made like a fan-made one I've seen, which is good, but that's not really the same, right? Like I'll read it on my Kindle if I have to, but like there's only like 3 novels as far as I'm aware, and a couple of capsular story comic books as well. But like put all those short stories in a book. Embrace your lore. Like they really, really don't take advantage of the really cool lore that I think they have. It's like the first Expo site I've done in ages. I don't want to embarrass myself. Yeah, it's all garbage now, the high-sec Expo sites. Really garbage, like genuinely. I like to imagine... Oh yeah, Jove delegation was on an actual Kaldari ship testing the pod with the crew. Yeah, the whole pod technology stuff being invented was cool. Yeah, when you said there are trillions of people in New Eden, I was like, you need hundreds of planets for that. Oh wait, there are almost all planets populated in Eve. Yeah, that part just kind of doesn't make sense, right, with what we know about like our galaxy. But like every planet is populated, which is kind of nuts. I mean, yeah, I don't think it is every planet, but it is. Like if you read through the lore, they'll be like, oh yeah, like Arzad 2 was famous for this thing, and then Arzad 3 was famous for this thing, and Arzad 4. Like they don't really seem to skip a number very often. So I think we can take from that they are mostly inhabited, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that explosion was about. A little over dramatic, wasn't it? But I think it's for that reason, mentioning, since RZ2 is on the brain, the Stark Community Tribe restoration for the Minmatar's military campaign, this expansion looks really cool. The planets in Nullsec is a good question. I'm not really sure how that works, because they're obviously... we know for sure, like let's use, as an example, Syndicate is Nullsec, but we know these planets are inhabited. This is not a good way of looking them up, but like we know that the planets... Okay, let's find a way to... I don't want to look at stations. I mean, Syndicate region. But yeah, basically, we know that the Intaki Syndicate came here. You know, they obviously inhabit these places. But, you know, are there planets that have people that are not spacefaring on them? I don't know. Maybe something to look into. Maybe that could be a good short video, right? That isn't like an hour long about one faction. This should just say a simple question like, why are there people on every planet in New Eden? Or where are the people that are not spacefaring? That would be interesting to look into. And I unfortunately think the answer probably isn't out there, but it's worth checking. Yeah, you're right. It's not Sov. That's a good point. What a good point. I don't know if I don't know what the situation would be with Sov. Is the implication that like in it has like, you know, at least Myelites in it has like jurisdiction over like everyone in Fountain? That seems kind of crazy. I don't think about it that way. I don't think of Darkshines as leading all of these civilians. So that's the product of a... I mean, that's such garbage. I mean, I know high-sec sites are not great, but wow. Even compared to how I remember them, they're bad. But it is the starter zone, I must remind myself. It's for learning, it's not for making money. But I guess, I'm just thinking, I guess the existence of the customs offices kind of implies there are people living on those planets, right? Oh, and actually the Upwell, like the Skyhook, right? That's, if you look at the Upwell Consortium's advertising, they make it kind of pretty clear that like people are a part of that. It's not just, not just some thing up in the sky. Like it's shipping goods to and from the planet. Like that planetary industry is actually a thing. So if you can do planetary industry on every planet, are there people that do that industry, or is it all automated? There's a question for you. Does every temperate planet have night-side city lights? That's also a good way of taking a look, right? Because that's what I'm thinking is like, do lava and plasma and storm planets have anyone on them? Because if there was going to be somewhere that you couldn't go, it would be those, right? You technically do know, I mean, who's working all the industry in the stations and piano planets? Exactly, yeah. Like, I don't know how much of it's automated, but like it's very heavily implied by the advertising that it's people, isn't it? Like, they definitely imply that. Maybe the one thing I do remember, in low sec the relic sites were the best. In high sec the data sites are the best. So here's a data site instead of a relic one. Maybe we'll get something better. It could be assumed it's automated, colonized by you. Maybe. So it's one way of looking at it. I don't really know what that means, right? I don't know what that means. Does that mean I'm out here colonizing when I do my API? Like, that's kind of scary. I don't know, I'm British though. Colonialism is... It's not... I'm not doing myself any favors doing that in Eve. Workforce is like a resource for sovereign old planets. I remember reading about it. Exactly, yeah, with Equinox and all the Upwell stuff. Like, we have workforce, we have power, and even the systems and planets and stuff that like we don't actually use, we get like power and workforce from, right? So they must have people on them. So that kind of does answer that question a little bit, but it would be curious. I'm really curious to see, and I'm not going to look it up now because it will be a deep dive and a half, but I'm really curious to see if CCP or FC rather have actually tried to explain it away, because it must be tempting. It must be tempting to try and make up some logic to that, or if they just not addressed it. Be curious to see. Colonized in the Wayland Yutani, as in, oh, you died, whoopsie. Yeah. I mean, the other thing too, right? We like, if you think about it from AD 22,000 years after, or 20,000 years after like IRL today, that's a long time for spacefaring colonization of different planets and terraforming technologies and all that kind of gubbins. We haven't had that IRL to compare with because we haven't been 20,000 years from now. But at the same time, those Terrans that got cut off in New Eden had a dark age. So that's also kind of like the opposite. Now that I think about it, trading food with the Empire should be a big business for Capsuleers. No, but I can't remember any food items existing. That's one thing I do know about. Capsuleers, you're right, there isn't really much there, but the food trade is a big one. I think, I'm trying to remember, I wonder if it's somewhere I can look it up on in-game, because I don't want to go out of game. Corporations, member corps. Yeah, here we go. Is it Imperial shipment? There's basically one of the big things that one of the heirs that I looked into when I did my Amar Law video was getting further foodstuffs. There's one. But yeah, basically there are big food conglomerates that are involved in like heavy trade, and it's like a big deal. And I think one of the heirs that I researched for my Amar Law video, like one of their like major achievements was negotiating a trade deal in foodstuffs between otherwise warring empires, which is another thing that's a little bit unclear. A lot of proxy warring in EVE that isn't kind of like direct conflict that begs a lot of questions. But they still have to trade with each other, the empires. They can't not. Even though they're fighting, which is kind of part of the Concord like militia system. I can't imagine the absolute and utter disregard for human life that a spacefaring civilization of trillions would harbor. Literally just meat bags for labor. Yeah, and Amar more than most, right? Like they have like 10 trillion citizens. They have like 20 trillion slaves or something. So it's not good. At least Galente are, at least on the surface, potentially trying to care about their like 8 or 10 trillion or however many it is people. Amar isn't even pretending. But yeah, you're right. Like it puts into perspective how powerful the people must be there. Because if you're like the heir of a house, I mean, if you think about it, let's think of like Tashmakon, right? Like the Khatice Tashmakon is the current empress of the Amar Empire. Tashmakon is pretty big, and they're like the holders of that. So I mean, how many systems are there in Tashmakon? Like, it's pretty big. Look at these constellations. Like, to be the most important people out of this many people. I mean, Tashmakon, if it's like one of like the regions, it's probably got at least 1 trillion people, maybe 2 trillion people. So that's like, you are already immensely powerful as the leader of the Tashmakon family, regardless of whether or not you're emperor or empress. Galente best faction confirmed. Yeah, I mean, they're trying, right? Again, though, same thing. There was, what, 4 candidates in the Galente election that we had recently? If you're one of those 4, like, the amount of power you must have. It's very centralized. It's actually surprising how centralized it is. But that's one of the reasons I love Amar Law, is because we have the Amatar Mandate and we have the Carnid Kingdom, which are like a really good example of this sort of more federalization. This kind of like, okay, well, it's a huge amount of space with a huge amount of people in who have their unique history. They're probably not going to want to just say, oh yeah, we're in the Amar Empire now. And to a degree, you could say the same thing about Caldari splitting off from the Galente Federation. Like, it is shocking that it's basically 4 major empires and not like 40. But as I said, if you can actually keep in mind like some of that difference, like the Carnid Kingdom, the Amatar Mandate, the Intaki Syndicate, there's actually kind of more than 4 major empires if you give it a second's thought. But I think EVE's basically, if you look at the military campaign, you can see that they're doing the thing that every fictional universe does, right? See this? It's the Hogwarts effect, right? it's Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and Gryffindor. It's 4. It's the magic number for this sort of thing. So really, now that we're playing the game properly and you've got past that sort of intro phase, you could probably say that there are more than 4 major empires. But for simplicity's sake, I don't blame them for sticking to 4 when they explain their world to new players. I'm getting a couple of not terrible things here, but it's still pretty terrible. Got a whole million. But this is all counting towards my achievements. Is there achievement for hacking? There must be, right? Yeah, there's hacking and there's signature resolve. We're getting both of those. Yeah, the upward social mobility would be abysmal too. Thanks CCP, we were born Capsuleers. Yeah, and that's something that I think is taken for granted. I remember reading the beginning of the, I'm trying to remember, it's over there, I can't remember what the title is. The first book for, is it Tony Gonzalez? It's not Templar 1, it's the other one. Empyrean Age is the one. Right at the beginning, like I can't remember the characters too well. I didn't read it through, I just skimmed it for the lore video, and I will read it through soon. But like it really goes in depth about how insane the Capsuleer is compared to like the average person in EVE, and like we don't really, I was going to say take for granted. We don't really take it, like we take it for granted, but we don't embrace how insane the lore is, because the amounts I'm making here and saying like, oh, this is shit, like this 1.09 million ISK that I'm making from exploration is like insane compared to the amount that the average person would be making as like a worker on a planet. Still, it's the only faction that in some fashion, even if shallow, still maintains some degree of individual agency and human rights. Amara literal slavers, Kaldari slavers with extra step. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the Minmatar don't get enough credit for like also kind of being the good guys. They're just kind of, they're kind of a single issue faction, right? Which is freeing the people that the Amar took from them, so you kind of can't blame them. But it does make them like a little bit of the less obvious, like the good guys, because they're just doing the one thing they came to do. We come for our people, or whatever it is. Reading Templar 1 at the moment. Yeah, I'll get around to it too. But yeah, I 100% agree. I wish they'd make more. I've been reading the Legend of Drizzt series, the Dungeons and Dragons one, and I played a bit. Let's go to another system here. I played a bit of World of Warcraft recently and looked at all the books for that and thought, wow, there's some good stuff here. But Eve does not take advantage of the amount of lore it has to work with. I know obviously you need a writer to do this stuff, like you don't just magic it out of thin air. But they obviously have writers on staff doing this stuff and making the lore on the website. So even just putting that, like an anthology of that stuff, I'd buy it. They also have a lot of out-of-print stuff, which I don't know if that's an issue with publishers, right? But one of the big sources I used for my lore video was a book called Eve Source, which was out of print a long time ago. And if you want a copy, it's not cheap, because the people who have them are like the only people who have them. So I had to use secondhand information from people who did have them, because I was not about to spend like £200 on a book that I was just going to skim read. I'd love to have it someday. I think I did bid on like an eBay listing. If I bid like £50, because I was like, I would have that for 50, but someone outbid me, so. Maybe it was a special print of ISK specific to a region planet like they do in the Eurozone. I love this kind of discussion. You can only get this within Eve. 10 books deep into Drizzt, awesome. I'm only like one book. I'm on the second book, but I'm absolutely loving it so far. Let's go to this. Oh, this is different. Relic training site. Hold on a second. Gas training site. These ones are different. So these are the actual. Right, these are the actual starter systems. Which one am I? Mazor, right. So let's go to Sakizra instead, because these aren't even high-sec ones. These are like the trainer ones that I remember from our starter systems before we even had Exordium. Yeah, but I look forward to reading those books. Obviously, Andrew Groen's Empires of Eve one's cool too, but I think that's the big thing, is that the lore. I'd love to do more videos on the lore of Eve, like from the player, the Capsulator perspective, and I know a lot of people have asked me to do them, including people in my own corp who are like, oh, just, do a video on our corp history. But the problem I have with that is that there's a lot of disagreement about what actually happened in those places. There always is. Glad to see we've got a couple more people picking up free ships from the fleet. That's great to see. But yeah, there's a lot of disagreement, and I really respect Andrew Groen. His journalism on like the history of Eve, especially the really early stuff, was like very impressive. But he is not only a really professional journalist, I guess, really knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, but also he's not currently playing Eve, and I think that gives him an incredibly unique perspective. For someone to not be like that into Eve and put that much time into researching it gives such a unique perspective that I think I would not be able to have, both because I'm very into Eve, and also I'm still playing, so I would feel a little uncomfortable, I think, doing a video about like the history of even my own corporation, Vertex Armada, because in the course of making that history, I'd have to talk about things that I'm very biased on, and I'd have to probably badmouth people who I still absolutely see all the time. So I don't want to do that. Not just because it's polite, but also because it's self-preservation, right? Like, I don't know how long I'll be out in nullsec. I hope for a while, but you never know, right? I don't want to burn every bridge for the sake of a tall tale. another person hopping in for a free ship. That's great to see.
Warp drive active.
It's definitely actually predominantly new people, which I'm really glad to see in this area. It's not too many people like me just kind of milling around trying to farm for achievement points. I'd love to be doing the military campaign stuff right now. I'd love to be. But you can't because they're all gone. Hopefully tomorrow I'll take a look again, not streaming, just so I can verify there's any actually there. Or if we're super lucky, we might find that tomorrow there's like a patch note that increases the spawn rate of some of these things, because I'd love to contribute. I was kind of hoping that I could spend this whole stream just grinding away at like all of the Empire's military campaigns, like really go hard at it, because I'm, you know, feeling very motivated by this new patch day. But unfortunately, as has become a bit of a pattern with EVE Online, there is kind of taking the wind out of my sails on patch day. But I'll remain optimistic. Hopefully we see something better tomorrow. We certainly will have the Epic Arcs tomorrow, though. That's hype. So as long as that's not broken, there's still something to look forward to. And I'll definitely play through those on stream. No two ways about it. They'll be so fun. Lore missions in my EVE Online. It's crazy. I don't really know what... I mean, I did a video on the lore of the missions that I'll be covering. I don't know yet whether or not I'm completely wrong, so it'll be an interesting opportunity to see me eat crow, potentially, because I might be completely wrong. I imagine people will print EVE biographies at some point. With some luck, FC will give us an item like a book and course so we can have them in game. That'd be really cool. I'm a big fan and would love to see some more object permanence, or like object... I guess, like... trail of ownership. I know Albion Online does this, where every item you can like see who actually made it, and like you can go, oh, like this person made it, and like that person's on the other team. Like you can have a bit of lore to every item. I'd love for that to be a thing in EVE. And also, yeah, like maybe a written note that you can make and pass that around. You know, maybe you could find a note on someone's ship. Tell my wife I love her or something, right? Epic Arcs? No, I checked, and it was really funny. I went to the agency and I thought, oh, okay, let's go to agents and missions. And then I went, oh, let's go to Epic Arcs. And then I spent a good 5 minutes going like, oh, look, that's amazing. The syndication one for Galante, the penumbra one for Caldari. And then I realized these are Epic Arcs that have been in the game for ages. So probably a sign I need to play them as well. But they're not the new ones. The new one is called Visions of Greatness, and it's coming tomorrow. So I presume at downtime. So in about 16 hours, hopefully, I'll get to take a look at them. I'll definitely stream those. I'm so hyped. Who's giving away free ships? If you go to Manifest in the new system of Exordium, look out for Fritz Reinfeld. You can get yourself a free ship if you're new to the game. If you're not new to the game, I mean, I don't know if he'd say no, but you probably won't find much value in them. They are T1 ships. Just getting new bros a bit of a leg up, right? I still remember grinding away for my Condor. I remember mining high-sec belts so I could get a Condor that I could take out on a nullsec roam. So I know how much these ships actually do mean to these people. That was a bad scan, wasn't it? Oh, that would be so cool. I would totally not buy ships made by course I don't like. I think that's the thing. I don't think it would change much player behavior. At least it wouldn't change mine. But it would certainly, like... It would add some interesting... Just a moment of, oh, that's funny. Because, like, it would be cool to, like, go to Jita and you buy a ship and it's like, this was made by Vertex Armada. I'm like, oh, this is made by my own corp and it's on sale in Jita, right? Or, oh, this was made by, like, your arch nemesis. And, like, what are you going to do about it? It would be very cool. I don't think it would change much. And I think, unfortunately, that's probably why CCP aren't going to do it. Because, like, can you imagine the computational workload that adds, especially with the spaghetti code that EVE is running on? Like, if you design from the ground up to have that functionality, I'm sure you could do it in a very clever way. But because that's not something they designed from the ground up to have, I bet it would be a nightmare. I mean, just look at how bad faction warfare and, like, yeah, it's faction warfare and engagement timers are. It's like a huge part of the tie-dye calculation. If I'm not misunderstood, I might have just been hearing things, right? But from what I understand, a huge part of the tie-dye calculation is the game constantly checking for eligibility on engagements through faction warfare and stuff like that. So just something that simple can like absolutely grind the server to a halt. Just imagine every single ship also having to have a tag about like who made it, and that tag having to be updated if that person's name changes or account gets deleted or they change corp. Like, they'd have to make it semi-permanent, right? I guess would be the solution to that. Yeah, also, yeah, you're right. That is the problem, unfortunately, is that it would be made by, like, yeah, industry alt number 50, rather than anything particularly interesting. Imagine having an auction for the ships that player that visited all of New Eden. Oh, Katya Say? Yeah, oh, that would be insane. I mean, I'm sure they could do that already, and you could trust them, if there's anyone to trust. Vert ships on top of would be little bees, yeah. Combat engagement ACL on each ship defined by the producer. Oh, that's such an amazing idea. I love that. You could be like, I'll sell you a Megathron, but it can't be used to shoot the initiative. It would be like the UK cell phone market, like where you can only buy like, oh, is this phone unlocked, or can it only be on EE? It's like, is this Megathron unlocked, or can it only shoot fraternity? Oh, that's amazing. I mean, it would be impossible, but that is such a cool idea. Just as a, I mean, just even as a world building idea for another thing entirely. Not even EE, but like, that's funny. Whoops. I'm terrible at that. I'm missing lethal on these because I'm just looking one step ahead and not watching what I'm doing. That'd be a good collector's item for sure. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You already have corpses, right? That's the current Eve collectible, is people's corpses. You get some famous person's corpse, but yeah, if we could get like a ship that was once owned by so and so, you know. I mean, there are a few lore-like things out there. Someone has the corpses of the heirs that lost the last Amar succession trial, if I remember rightly, from the Shathal Sin ritual suicide. A very cheery topic, isn't it? In that case, Industry Alt number 17 would be the famous person. Exactly, yeah. Industry Alt number 17. We all know that guy. What a guy. Changed the course of history. Bill, I need your corpse. My corpse is in high demand. I've got a few people have one. It's not in high demand because I'm especially interesting. It's in high demand because I don't die very often, because in order to do that, I'd have to undock. So not a lot of people have one because I would have to die. I mean, there's one right now. It's out there. Where is it? It's on the gate. Yeah, it's on a gate in Onator in the Citadel, because I just got smart bombed. So it's out there. Right, that's all of the ones I've scanned here. So hold on, let me track that achievement that we can actually keep an eye on how far we're getting. So Paragon Services achievements. Oh, let's track Firewall down. 7 out of 50. God, it really does put into context how many 50 is if we've only done 7 so far. Holy. Let's go and check out another Empire's area. Let's go Kaldari. I like the Kaldari designs. This is an insane way of laying this out, by the way. I'm sure there's a really clever reason, like geometrically, why they've done this, so that people don't have to travel very far and like it's very Nubo friendly, but it looks insane. Except to smart bombs, yeah. Just smart bombs apparently the way I'm being killed. Certainly not being podded very often, but smart bombs definitely the exception. So there's one out there right now. It officially happened now. You can't use Tech 2 fighters without specialization. Is that right? I haven't paid too much attention to the fighter stuff, the carrier stuff in general. In fact, let me take a look at that, because this isn't my carrier alt, so my skills will be absolutely naff. But like, let's take a look at that section. Not map. God, I can't. Regional market. Let's get rid of this. Is it Ein? Try to think of a name of a. Ein here, 2s. So what do these require now? Skills, attributes, abilities. Where are we? Oh, requirements. No, I'm an idiot. Okay, so fighters 5. Minotaur fighter specialization. Yeah, I see. I don't know what my fighter skill is in my carrier role. I think it might be
Warp
5, so
drive
it's not a big deal.
active.
But like that is kind of nuts because T1 fighters are a little bit rough. I just noticed I had to train it to use it on my Nyx. Yeah. Yeah. Jeeping someone's corpse. Seems like such a space dystopia as I would imagine. Yeah, you could be a meat popsicle in Eve. Keeping someone's corpse is a very... It's, you know, everyone has a corpse collection. I've got a corpse collection somewhere. It's just... I don't move it around, so it's wherever I'm living at the time. I slowly develop one.
Warp drive active.
So we're in the Concord spaces now, just going over towards the Crucible, which is the Caldari constellation. Okay. These gates are so cool, though. These Concord brand gates. They're very different to the ones in the Concord region. I'd pay for Laura's corpse. Oh, wow. Second time today, jumping through Exordium has crashed my game. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of... definitely a little bit of instability been introduced by this patch, unfortunately. But it's no biggie. Like an hour between crashes, we can live with that, right? But it's both times been jumping through gates. I think it's got something to do with local chat, because that's bugging the hell out. Let me just relaunch that. We're almost over there. Just looking at a Mahalor instead. Yeah, as of 10th June, you can experience the Visions of Greatness Epic Arc. I wonder why they pushed that back a day. Seems a bit unusual to me. Like for everything else to come out in one day, and for them to be like, yeah, give it another day, doesn't really make much sense to me. Let me bring this over to the right monitor.
Connecting.
And fingers crossed we won't crash again. Pay for Laura's corpse. Yeah, I'm Laura's corpse from Rainbow Skins keep stuff. Yeah. I know I've got a very political corner cam on right now. Oh, what a mess. What a mess that whole... It's been a... I mean, I won't lie. I don't like stirring up drama or getting involved in drama particularly, but like it's been a difficult week for Eve. It all, you know, things started quite small and we had the Fern stuff as well, which was a whole other thing. Been a tough week. It's been a week where the Eve community got me very, very depressed. I won't lie. The Reddit, the video I made, the Pride video I made, I'd put it this way: less than half the comments that got left is still up. So there was plenty on there that were not so great, and the Eve subreddit's been very much all, you know, more of the same. So a bit of a depressing time. Let me switch over here because the Eve Online bill paid. There we go.
Warp drive active.
I'm glad at least that like the subreddit isn't just like a post about the Laura stuff like every hour like it was for a bit there, because it was just getting a little bit much to take in, to be honest. Definitely changes people's perspective on death and life in that civilization. Yeah, when you got 20 trillion people, tens of trillions of people, like, suddenly seem a little bit more expendable, don't you? No doubt about it. It's always depressing when you find out you're surrounded by bigots and hateful Neanderthals. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, right? And I got into a bit of an argument with someone on Reddit, which is like, that's the sign that I'm a fool, right? Getting involved in an argument on Reddit, that's got nothing on them. That's my fault. But yeah, like I didn't mention Laura by name in that video, and like, you know, I still don't really think that's the main problem. To be honest with you, like, it's not like he's I'm trying to think of the best way of putting this. It's not like he can't be apologetic about it and in some way redeemed. Like, he's not irredeemable. That's the word I'm looking for. But it was the reaction of other people that was the problem, and that's what I mentioned in that video. Is that it's not some creator just saying something ignorant that actually hurts. Because like hell, I mean, people are used to that. That's nothing new. It's when the people around you go, oh yeah, he's saying what I'm thinking, and then they just double down with something like 10 times worse. And they're the people you spend all day with. They're the people you spend like all your time playing with. That's the real depression. Now, thankfully, I'm in a great corporation, great alliance. Don't have to deal with that sort of thing. But plenty of people do. plenty of new people, especially who don't know what they're getting into or where they're going. Like, they're going to have to deal with that sort of thing, and that is rough. I certainly hope that video reached the right people, because there are plenty of welcoming corps out there that you won't have to deal with that sort of thing. Okay, so we're over in Tatris now. So I think this will be like a normal site. This won't be like a training one. Let's find out. I bet the training ones still count towards my firewall down achievements, but it seems in bad taste. Seems in bad taste to steal the training sites. I'll leave them for the new bros. There's no one else in this system. I don't feel bad. So you can see the progress has been made. A lot of progress has been made on the Caldari Bulwark. But here's the thing, actually. This will be interesting. Let's take a look. Can we see what our personal contribution amounts to in the global contribution? Because I'm curious how many it takes to get 22%. So, oh my god. This explains a lot. So 22.6% containers hacked is 215 containers? Is that it? That's so dumb. Because we went to one of these sites and there were like, I don't know, 5. I think there were like 8 containers, but let's say there were 5. Like, so there's like 40 entire sites that have been done in 9 hours that have achieved this. Like, that's crazy. This explains why we can't find any of these sites to do. There's so few of them actually to amount to full global contribution. You're only expected to do 4 for your personal contribution, and that I kind of understand. That's kind of fine. But the fact 215 is a quarter of the global contribution, CCP has really underestimated how many they need. Also, I need to get rid of that. There we go. Yeah, CCP has really underestimated how many of those sites they need to spawn. Let me join Jerko's fleet. Oh, is that one? Crumbling. Yeah, that's a proper normal site, isn't it?
Warp drive active.
Fritz Reinfeld. There we go. Back in. But yeah, no, I won't get into it. Don't have enough character allowance on live stream. Exactly, yeah, and there's not much point getting into it, right? Like, it's I won't say it's all said and done, because it's all said, but it ain't all done yet. I don't think CCP or FC, sorry, has said anything about it yet, which I know they had the weekend. That's fine, but it's, you know, it's Wednesday tomorrow. I would like to see them say something. I really hope they don't just hope that because it's been 5 days, everyone kind of swept it under the rug, because I certainly haven't. But yeah, guess we'll see. I've got to be over here, right? Could be the one next to it. Yeah, there we go. So this is site-based, not can-based. So that's why, like, in my head, I thought it was 50 cans to get this achievement. That's not too bad, but 50 sites is a lot. I'll have to ask Jasmine, the founder of my corp, how he's getting on with his 689 sites, 689 systems he wanted to visit to get the Amar exploration achievement. I mean, I want to do it too. I had a laugh at him. I said, like, oh my god, 689, you're insane. But I'll do it as well. It's just, I'll probably do it while doing other things. And also, I'm hoping they find a way to, like, have you be able to see which systems you have and haven't been to, because I do not want to have to just guess my way through that. That will be so awful. Because I'll get to 688 and be like, which one's the 689th? I don't know. I'll miss one and it'll cause me all sorts of trouble. Yeah, that might be the case, unfortunately. Marble Emperor might well be the case. I hope not, though. Okay. That's all of the all of the ones in this system. Let's check what we got next door. So I think it's going to be Aldoraz and Pamarasu that have the like training sites in. I think these back three are like going to have the normal sites and they'll be fine. I mean, if I knew that like the only expansion content I get to do today was achievement hunting, I'd have done something other than just do these in Exordium. But you know, it's good to be around in this new space, even if it's not really for me, for these experienced players. It's cool new space. Hopefully don't crash going through this gate now. No, we're good. It has been good to see the Eve community so, I guess, rallied around this new expansion. I've seen a lot of activity, which is good. I think my aim just crashed. Let's play this. There we go. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people streaming. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of logons today from people who I haven't seen in a while, which is always a good sign. Always a sign that an expansion has actually got some, got some source. When I see people coming back who haven't played in a while, and speak to people I haven't spoken to in a while too. It's a shame. It's a shame when you get into a situation like this, though, where the kind of wind takes the wind gets taken out your sails. Though I just hope they've got the patience to give it a couple days for CCP to balance out the spawn rates. It's not too late, but it is a rough first day. I think Jerko's showing off some explosions to some new players. There we go. Yep, local Goristus.
Warp drive active.
Peacetime carrier. That's a good way of describing the bowhead, right? It's one of those ships I've never had, the bowhead. I've never actually had one, I don't think. Used to help people move them around HiSec, though. Used to scan A641 HiSec to HiSec wormholes so that incursion runners could move them around. But I never personally had one because I feel like they're gank magnets, even though I know I have spent nothing but time saying that ganking doesn't happen as much as people think. But even then, that's one thing that I would be really scared to fly around HiSec personally. Okay, only a couple of cans here. I swear in low sec and null sec sites there are more cans. I mean, maybe that is just true. Brought a friend in a festival destroyer. Nice one. Nice one. Oh yeah, that's Bastina or Bastina. Cool, cool. There is nothing that quite keeps you interested in playing Eve like the awe and, I guess, enthusiasm of new players. It's one of the reasons that no matter where my corp lives or how big it gets, I'm always happy to talk to new bros, even if they're not always perhaps, my corp isn't always perhaps the best place for them to go. I'm always happy to talk to them because there's, they're what keeps things going. What keeps me interested, certainly. Let's go to this other one, which I think is another...
Warp drive active.
I think this is another place with a normal sites in it. Only 9 out of 50. We're not getting this achievement tonight. No shot. But surely I'm progressing other achievements. There's the scan one. I'm definitely progressing that one. Yep, and then Starbound is the Stargates. Oh, I mean, that one, if I've already done 100 out of 400, that one's going to happen by accident. Easy. I can... The 200,000 units of ore as well. That's only 4 ventures full. We could take a break in a moment and just finish that one. But that is one of multiple tiers, I think. Oh, wow. I've already done the first tier. So the second tier is 200,000. The third tier is 500,000. I can get the material recovery third tier achievement in, like, no time. That's good to know. So this is the opposite side of the Crucible constellation. There we go. Oh wow, no signatures here. Okay. Let's see. We've done Amar, we did Kaldari. Let's go over to the Galente one. Now it was going through the middle area that crashed my PC last time, so I reckon solid chances we get another crash, but let's find out, right? Let's not be too certain. Nice one. Just checking there's nothing important happening, getting pinged about things here, eh? Cool, cool. Making sure J Agent isn't getting me any tickets I don't need. How is that 7 jumps? It's just a weird old route, isn't it? Feels like it should be dead close, but it's a pretty big region on raw systems. Was it like 50 something? They're just organized in such a way to make it feel small. Like everywhere is like kind of equidistant in a good way. What's here actually? Before we jump, what are these systems? What are these signatures? Because these might be. There's certainly a lot more here. Maybe this is the play. Let's find out. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, these are training sites. They scanned way too quickly. Okay, so yeah, let's keep going. Not here. These are too easy. I bet that counts towards my scanning, though. That might be kind of the... Not that I endorse cheesing these achievements, but that might be the way. Go into those systems with like a really big scanner size on and just do a couple of passes and get like 10 SIGs scanned. That might be the play. I know one of them is just to have a duel. I can just duel one of my ults. Nice one, nice one. I was absolutely unaware that my Discord was just telling everyone I'm streaming on YouTube. That's a little bit weird.
Drive active.
I didn't know that's how that worked. I didn't even connect my YouTube. How nuts. Maybe I did. Who knows? Just 5 more jumps over. See, the exact same. I think it's not even the same gate. It's jumping between the same region as crashing every time. So I think that'll be something, something worth reporting. We're gonna have to pay a lot of close attention to some of the patch notes coming soon. It's maybe this is a good sign that they need to spend an extra day on the epic arcs. Because if just navigating around Exordium does this kind of thing, then yeah, maybe another day in the cooker is what this patch needed. Okay. Cool. Back on.
Connect.
Bill paid. Move it over, and then we'll get that one back on. Stream main. Cool. Is that gonna come up, or is it gonna? Yeah, we go. Weird. I'm getting through the gate too, right? Like I'm not having to jump through again when I get back out. Like I'm through the gate when it crashes. I wonder if it's like an asset here or something. It's just kind of a problem. Like these are different gates than we're used to. Maybe it's that.
Warp drive active.
Can't really know for sure. Gonna have to wait for CCP to look into it. FC rather. It's gonna take a long time for me to stop calling them CCP. Hopefully, I mean, I got another one of these gates. Hopefully, I'm going to do it again. I could probably take a look at the crash reports before I wrap up.
Warp drive active.
For the sake of sending them on, see if there's, because it could just be my side, right? I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this. Let me know if you've had the same problem. I know a couple of people here will have definitely been to Exordium already.
Drive active.
Cool. Just trying to take a look at the any Eve subreddit posts or anything about the event, see if people are having the same experience, but it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag, it looks like.
Active.
Certainly people who are keen on the carriers and the Navy destroyers won't have much to say about this expansion yet, right? They need to wait for it to actually get built, and that won't happen just yet. Okay, here we go. Next jump.
Active.
I think we're already technically in places where there'll be some of them, but we'll start from the back and work our way forwards. just 41 more relic or data sites to go. No pressure. My plan wasn't even really to go over to Exordium, because I thought in my head, like I planned a stream to come over here and explore the space, like well before it got introduced. But then they released it to Tranquility like earlier than the rest of the expansion. I went over there and did that video. I just kind of explored it on my own and thought, there's not much else to do here, right? And yet here we are. It's the only part of the expansion that's really working, unfortunately, or at least working as intended on day one. Right, let's check out these signatures. Luckily, they're easy enough to scan that I actually don't think the fact that I don't have Sisters of Eve probe scanner or probes is like not really making much of a difference. Certainly, like a better hacking, like a T2 analyzer wouldn't make much of a difference either. So like, it's good that it's entry level. I mean, that's exactly what it's designed for. It's Exordium's whole shtick, right? So it's good that these are very entry level accessible. Are these mostly new people in the system? Layer or Organica. It's almost Layer Organa. Can see the inspiration. I love going to starter systems and finding these amazingly named characters that you know you'll never see in space again, because it's probably someone who's not going to keep playing. Right, so yeah, and if I can't find any decent sites again tomorrow, like even with the change of Empire goals, then it's gonna have to be more achievement hunting, which luckily, if I go in with that mindset, there's definitely a lot more interesting things to be doing than doing it this way. Because you can combine them, right? Like if you go around all of the Empire Caldari space, right, to get that achievement, you can stop around and hack and like scan at every system. You'll kind of get like, I mean, it'll take you absolutely ages still, but you'll kind of get them all at the same time instead of having to double back on yourself. But maybe that's some insane completionism talking. Wouldn't surprise me, because that is kind of what I'm like. I would get absolutely done over by one of those event difficulty exploration like hacks like this. These are like the easy peasy ones. And I'm doing them fine, but like I used to do these all day and I'm out of practice. I would get into real trouble trying to do one of those wormhole ones. Same deal. Give it a few years, bisexual Morpheus will be an alliance lead. Yeah, I mean that was a good one. That was a good one of them. I do always feel kind of bad for people that have picked a name that just like really, like, not sucks, but like it's like when you pick your first email address, right, when you're like 9 years old or something, and you accidentally pick something that you'll now use for the rest of your life. Like, I'm pretty happy with mine. I picked it just as like a, oh, what would be a funny pun on my name, which is obviously also like William. So I was like, oh, I can make it Bill, or I can make it like Bill as in money, or I can make it Bill paid. And like, it's okay because it's it's like a, oh yeah, it's like a low-key enough pun that it's like it doesn't get in the way. But like, I know some people in this game with names where it's like, holy shit, how do you go around with that? Oh, did I just cherry pick? Did I just, oh, I think I left one behind. Let me go back. I ain't doing that. I ain't leaving one behind. I ain't cherry picking. Let's go fetch that one. We do not cherry pick our sites in this house. But yeah, I feel sorry. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I certainly have known. Like, the thing is, it's like water off a duck's back at some point. You just start to know them by that name that you forget how ludicrous it is. But I do know some people with some absolutely ludicrous in-game names. There we go. I knew I cherry picked. Oh, that was bad. Whew. I might crucified for that. Let me go and finish that one off. Make sure I'm using the right one. There we go. The whole game feels much laggier than usual today, honestly. It's getting this weird, like, stuttery. Like, if I look at the... Like, look at this sort of occasional dips. Like, I don't know if it's just some new asset of a place I'm in, or if it's because I'm streaming. But it's, like, noticeably more sluggish than usual, unfortunately. I am also running at absolute cracked out settings, though, because this is what I was, you know... So I record the sort of backdrops and stuff that I'm using for other videos, and I don't want them to be bad quality. Should not have that open. Whoops. Okay. Just a couple here again. But then I think we are probably gonna have to get out of starter space, because there is only so many of these around. I know they respawn very quickly because the region is so, like, you know, it's concentrated. But still, there's a lot more accessible sites elsewhere. Let me turn my settings down, see if that helps a little bit. Is there a preset option? I swear that used to be. Let's just go medium on everything. Oh wow, talk about fucking change. It is nuts how much of an impact that has. Just like not only on performance, but unfortunately on visuals. See though, I'm still getting that sort of, I think maybe I'm seeing things. I'm getting that occasional dip. Oh yeah, look at that. Weird. It's probably related to something else, unfortunately. Have to do some troubleshooting on that. Should try setting the graphics to memory preset, see if it's the stream putting stress on your machine. Yeah. Could be. Oh, I failed that one. I was not paying attention. Even when I wasn't streaming, like I was just previewing, it had the problem. So I reckon, if I was to guess, it might be the camera software I'm using, because I'm looking at that and seeing it lagging real hard. Like it's like okay, but look how jittery it is. I reckon it's that. I'll have to play around with that. That'll be fun. Okay, right. So I think in the spirit of fair play, I get my ass out of Exordium. Leave it to the new bros. Certainly a very pretty area. Glad we took a look at it. So what other achieves can we do? I could do the units of all one. Would not be difficult to knock that one out. Just achievement hunting streams is going to be a consistent one, unfortunately, I think. The industry ones I'm never going to touch. It's quite funny how Eve spends so much time being like, don't make ship hulls, you know, make modules, don't make ship hulls, they don't sell very quickly, or at least that's what my corporation says. And yet that's what all of these are about. So, because I mean, I'm obviously not going to manufacture a Titan, but even manufacturing like 50 battleships is quite a big ask. 50 T1 battleships is going to set you back, what, like, at least 4 or 5 bill. No, that's going to be one I never finished, the Moonfall one. Let's have a look at Task Manager. Yeah, it is definitely the camera. It's definitely that. Anyway, I have to look at that for next time. It's not too bad right now, but it was pretty bad before. So if we want to do... Let's have a look. We want to do the hacking one elsewhere in a place that'll actually be... not map. Oh, I hate that achievements is under Paragon services, by the way. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So 50 vertical hacking sites. We could do that. What can we do that with? See, this is really annoying to me. The Historic Wanderer one. I already got one of them. Visit 5 landmark sites around New Eden. Visit 20. What did we see? I don't remember seeing 9 landmarks. Like, I think it's a very generous description of landmarks. What can we do at the same time? I'll tell you what I will do. Let's do... It's gonna be US peak time. I was saying let's just swing back around and sort of see if there's anything we can do at the campaigns again. But the only one I haven't checked is the Galente one. And that's a mining one. Where did I put my venture? So I want to manifest? Yeah. Let's go manifest. Let's pick up the venture. Let's go and see if we can get some moissanite. If we can't, we'll call it there and see what tomorrow brings in terms of patches to change some of this. The downside, I think, is I doubt CCP FC is going to change the global contribution targets now, because obviously people who have contributed, it would be a little bit unfair if they said, oh, that 25% contribution you did, that's actually like 5% now. But that's kind of what they need to do. I don't think they're going to do it. I really don't think they'll do it just yet. So we'll go to Manifest, pick up a venture, fly over to the Galente military campaign area.
Warp drive active.
Let's have a looky. Yeah. Okay. The other thing I haven't checked out and will be very interesting to check out would be the rest of the faction war complex changes. So there's actual faction warfare complex fighting changes that are not just about the military campaign, but actually include new complexes. So you have the new battle cruiser one that is going to be that changes the level of your ship. There's the new scout one that kind of limits you to just one person in a frigate, like 1v1 essentially, or at least it makes it beneficial to have one as far as I'm aware. I'll need to look at them in some more detail. I've been avoiding faction warfare like the plague because, again, if this is anything to go by, it's going to be absolutely packed with people. But if you want to try getting involved in the military campaign, that might be the last place to check at this point, is my suggestion. But no crashes going back there yet. It's just a matter of time. But at least it probably means it's my camera software that's making that impact on the crashes rather than the game itself, which is probably a positive from CCP's perspective. Your dogs are evil. Should I ask? Yep, there's the... I egged that crash on, I'm afraid. Let's get that on. Start it up again. Weird that it would happen so heavily at this end. I do think it is still connected, but I think it's just a lot of stress on it. They gave 2 gophers a heart attack. That is pretty bad. You sure a heart attack was the cause of death? If I was to involve 2 gophers and a dog, like in the same situation, I doubt my first assumption would be heart attack. There we go.
Connecting.
Let's turn off hardware acceleration on. Oh, that's way worse. Oh, I just made that so much worse. There goes my camera. There we go. Okay, don't do what I just did. Force High Performance GPU. Thank you for that fleet invite. There we go.
Warp drive active.
There are no War, Galente, Bulwark, or Site. Check on map under mining. Good shout. I always forget to use the in-game searches for those. I'll take a look at that though. Maybe we might be able to find other ones. No teeth marks to buy. I know nothing. You sent me some ISK. I need to buy 25 plex for the free 7 days Omega. Turbo 601. What's the 25 days Omega? I heard about this stuff. Let me check out that, because I heard about that. Let me bring back up the. This should be functioning again now. There we go. 25 days. 25. What's 25 plex? 25 plex is like, oh, plex gift. 25 plex for free. Oh, so I get 25 plex, and that gives me 7 days of Omega. But you're asking, you need to buy the 25 plex. I mean, I'll just send you the plex, man. 2 seconds.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
By all means. 30. Yeah, it would actually be interesting. It would actually be interesting if that was what it was. You missed one in Placid, maybe. Let's take a look at that as well. Let me just drag this plex out. If you want that plex, by all means. What's your name? Turbo 611. Turbo 611. I was not even aware it was a thing, so I think I got you right there. Let me just check that's you. Yeah. Okay, you've not been in any of my blacklisted corporations. You're all good. Enjoy. Let's see then. Missed one in Placid. Let's check out the map. So, are you doing this under the agency, or are you doing this on the map, like mining section? Let's try that. So, oh, hold on. So what is... No, don't remove from favorites. So there's different sections. Class 1 ore, Class 3 ore, Bulwark mining sites. Good. Ah, okay. Oh, this is genius. You're a genius. Thank you for raising that, because I would not have thought of that. So there's one there. There's one here. Oh, that one's super easy to get to. Might go to the Minmatar one. Oh, actually, I can't go to the Minmatar one. I forgot. I'm not allowed there. I'm enlisted. What about that one? Oh, I mean, it's kind of behind a lawless system. Did I select the right system? Oh, I think I was slightly off. Not save. Osmodon is... I mean, that should be fine. It's kind of closest. Yeah, let's just give it a try, eh? I think I need to say I'm participating in the Galente. Mine Moissanite. Participate now. See, look, I could click participate now. I'm not in the Galente militia, so that kind of answers that question for us. And that system is current high-sec lawless. Yeah. Well, what's the worst that can happen, right? Let's go find out. I don't care if I die. I want to see this new mining site. But you're probably right that that's probably why. Yeah, lawless 0.7. That's my free plex given out, I'm afraid. I will have some more on some other accounts. I'll have to pick that up when I pick that up. Are the others high-sec lawless too? Would that be why, do we think? Do we think that's why? Let's check them. So I can't go to Metropolis. That's the only one I just cannot go to. Tuamata is not. Let's just pop there then, right? And I can't... Yeah, I should be safe. I might get smart bombed. It's possible I get smart bombed, but I should be fine. They were in the New Eden store for me. I don't really know. Do you have to be an Omega? I don't know if you have Omega. I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not particularly sure. If I found them in the New Eden store on none of your accounts. Maybe it is an Omega only thing if you're an Alpha account. They do that sometimes. They do occasionally do it so that like even Alpha accounts just get free Omega. I like when they do that because of the people who are in my corp who are able to use it. But what I don't like is that it means that the gankers have tons of ults for like a week. Okay. Do you have Plex, Liliana? I mean, you're an Alpha, I assume. If you've been paying for Omega, I'd be shocked. I presume you're an Alpha. I don't know if you do. I give free Plex at a discounted 10 mil rate. I mean, you're in absolutely all of your rights to sell the Plex. It's not. I mean, 25 Plex, right? That's got to be worth. I'm about to have like a Lucille moment with banana prices. Like, how much is 25 Plex? Like, 100 mil, something like that. I don't know. I don't know how much Plex goes for. I don't. 4.5 mil each. Okay, it's not too far. Not too far off. That was a good guess then.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, by all means, sell it. Like, don't feel like you have to give it away to someone. But it's you know, given that you get 7 days of Omega from it, like it's a cool little gift. It's good. Here's an idea. Hold on. Does the lag spike when I move my head? Is it that? Let's watch. Nah, it doesn't seem to be. I was wondering if that's because it's doing virtual green screening. I wonder if that's it. That would have been really funny, but I don't think it's that. It is still the camera software, but it would be funny if it was that simple. I just have to sit really still. That would be the answer. I may get out to mid-August. Yeah, I think I'm about the same. There's a good sale on right now. Not to pimp out my own discount code or anything, but you go to markydragon.com and use coupon code BILL. You get 3% off, and it helps support me as well. But there is a good sale on right now, regardless whether you buy that from Marky Dragon or the Eve store. I hear it's kind of a pretty decent deal. I will probably re-up some of my accounts for a bit with it, because we don't really get some... Like, the big deals come around Black Friday, right, and the holidays. I should be fine going through through low sec here. I mean, it's hard to catch a venture with a traditional point or scram, but and they can't bubble because it's not lawless. So I should be fine. My only risk is smart bomb. And hey, I've only been smart bombed once. I've only been smart bombed once so far. Bill Bobblehead. You could probably get very cheap Bill Bobbleheads just by buying the bobblehead wholesale before they actually decorate them, right? Because it's just going to be a bold white guy. You're basically 95% of the way there. It's the cheapest bobblehead of all time. Just sell people the cue ball from pool, right? That'll do as well. It's Bill merch. Every time you buy eggs, you're buying Bill merch, as far as I'm concerned. I've got 100% market penetration in the egg business. Speaking of which, going to Egg Halende now.
Warp drive active.
There's eggs all over the place. Like hearing a Dracovac. Oh, it's still 0.5. I thought we were in low sec. I was gonna say, what are people up to? I'm still not accustomed to even seeing people in space in like in high sec. I see neutrals and I think, oh, that's a problem, but obviously in high sec it's not. It's absolutely fine. Now we're in low sec. Faction warfare low sec, no less.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It is definitely. And that's why I thought it was kind of like an Eve thing rather than a me thing. It might still be a bit of both, but the local chat is definitely fucky. It's definitely not working right. Like you say, exactly how you said, instead of popping all in at once, it's kind of like coming down like a daka, as you say. But like I had that earlier. It was kind of visually quite pretty when it did it, but I don't think it's supposed to do that. I'm Mega now, but I guess you probably had to be a Mega before sale. I think that's probably what it was. They do that occasionally. I think the intention is that people don't like use all of their alpha alts, because I mean, hell, I know some people in my corp, absolute fiends, who've got like 50 alpha accounts, and if they all got 25 plex, like holy shit, that would have an impact on the market.
Warp drive active.
Oh, I know where I am now. Secede and Augur. Used to spend a lot of time around here, and there's some people I know here as well. Some names I recognize. Have to move the width of the names column to face it. That's a... Oh, yeah, I had that earlier too. I had it so that like all the names were pushed to the right slightly. It seems to be okay now, but I did have that. So it's kind of annoying though, right? Because I'm obviously having problems with my client, but there's also problems with Eve in general. So it's hard to know exactly who to blame. So you just did it then. I don't know if you saw it, but also it like pushed them to the right too until they came back in. I do wonder if that's got something to do with it. It feels like this is intentional new behavior though. It's such a strange thing. Such a strange thing to happen by accident. Some of the names were tabbed over like one space. Yeah, it's got to be some sort of bug. There's some interesting there was like a memorial there. There's some interesting points of interest that I don't see very often. Now, when I do my recording for like video background stuff, I almost always do it in high sec on like a NPC alt, because obviously I can't go to Minmatar high sec with this account because of my enlistment, and I don't want to like draw any attention, so I do it in a very no-name NPC alt. But because I don't go into low sec, I don't see half of these points of interest. There was a couple of interesting ones on the way here that I'll need to keep in mind for next time, because I am definitely using the same places like 3 or 4 times over across my whole catalog of videos by now. I love having local chat open. Just warp off earlier if you're going to be a weenie. That's my Amar faction warfare space. That's the Amar faction warfare space I know. People just bitching at each other. Right. One jump added to Amuta. Now we find out how out of date that map data was. Is it still there? It's still there, and there's still one in Devoid as well. So it's still on the map. Is it still there in person? We will see. Potentially not, because it's like not updated live. But hey, if we can just get a little bit, just a little bit of an event ore, I'll be satisfied to have actually done any of the event on expansion launch day. But 63 people here. Well, there's the reserve. Okay, that's the first time I've even seen the ore site, so that's optimistic. But there's a hell of a lot of people here. I have a feeling that turning up in Adventure, I'm going to be a little bit outgunned. There's going to be some big ships here, I think. Let's see. Yeah, holy moly. Look at all these people. I mean, a lot of these are drones, but holy shit. I mean, at least we can contribute. Come on then, let's get stuck in. What's the closest one? I mean, this is a big site. It's beautiful though as well, actually, right? I'm happy now. Nice big site. Got a big structure at the beginning too. Let's just burn over here and pick up some X-grade Raspite. I wonder how long this has been here, right? Like, I wonder how long it's taken. There's so many people here though. This is nuts. I mean, it's been a while since I've mined with this many people around. So it reminds me of high-sec ice belts and the occasional raw core mining I've used to do. But like, certainly I do not mine very much these days. So I'm curious too. Let's track the Raspite. It's here. I'm curious to see, is it just the mining, or do I have to turn it in, or is it the reprocessing? I think it's just the mining, but we'll see momentarily once we get some lasers on this rock. There we go. What's the range on these lasers? 16 kilometers. So we should be able to shoot now. Let's keep it range. Oh, that'll do. So when this cycle finishes, we'll see, and we'll actually have contributed to the glory of Amar Victor, as they say. Let's see what it goes up to. Yeah, there we go. So what's that? So personal progress is, oh my god, 108,000. That's a lot. That's a lot in a venture. So that, again, the hacking site, 215 cans was like a quarter of the entire Caldari state's global progress. My personal progress on this type of ore is like so high. I mean, obviously I'm in a venture right now. If I came back in like a Hulk with ore strip miners on, or simple or crystals, like T2 ones, I guess, you know, I could make it go a lot quicker, but holy crap, that's a lot. It would, you'd have to sit here for a while, which we're going to do though. What have other people bought? I see some Pioneer hubs, some Pioneer here, some Pioneer love. I mean, this one's doing now, but I am owed an apology by a lot of people about the Pioneer. I made a video when that came out basically saying, yep, most of these ships kind of suck. They basically just exist to be a stepping stone, and a lot of people are like, nah, everyone's going to start moving to them. But I suspect these are a lot of people who are using them as stepping stones, because here we are in high-sec, which is, you know, exactly the kind of people I would want to be using them. Oh, there's NPC ventures too. That certainly makes it look busier than it is, but it is still very, very, very busy. Coveters, someone's brought their orca. That's cool. Now, this isn't a gated site, interestingly, because I thought maybe this would be gated, and then you could bring in your orca and not have to worry about ganking. But it's not gated, but also, I mean, you know, it's not going to be, not very high chances of getting ganked. Good night, Jerko. Still around 70 left. Yeah, hopefully you get some, hopefully get some more people on Saturday. I certainly think like this will be one of the quieter days for that stuff. You'll certainly see a lot more people around Exordium soon. Yeah, exactly. They're a great upgrade from the Venture, and if you cannot fly barges because you're an alpha account or whatever, then they're great. But like they're otherwise basically useless, which is raised a lot of people's hackles at the time saying that, because I think people thought, oh, like finally another, like this will be like the nimble destroyer that I can use to do my ninja mining. And it's like, yeah, but there's already expedition frigates and they're already kind of better at that. Someone's brought their Mackinaw. No Hulks yet. Have I seen any Hulks? One Hulk. Oh, an Outrider. That's another one of the new ones. I mean, they're pretty ships, I can't lie, but they are kind of still dog shit. I did all the math on it and people were still mad. It was funny. It was one of the first videos I ever made that like got not negative reception, but like a lot of pushback. Was that video on the Pioneer and the Outrider, and I was really concerned. I was like, have I made a massive mistake? No, it just turns out like a lot of the people who are commenting are insane. People who like don't want to do the math themselves. This guy's using crystals. He's got the right idea. Ooh, look at that pretty Hulk skin. Of course the Hulk pilot's got crystals, right? And the pretty skin. This person mines. So this, presumably, is also progressing my mining achievements, question mark? Let's see. Surely. Calm down, miner. Yeah. Now, I really, really wish beyond wishes. I wish beyond wishes that CCP or FC would stop doing achievements and dailies and stuff like that for mining that are based on quantity, like units of ore, as opposed to M3. Because, I mean, I know it's hard. They would just have to hard code an M3 per unit into the standard data export, which they already do. But like that's like nothing for Valdspar, but like really difficult for like Dark Ochre or something. Grabbed up some Galente industrial skins for the mining ships when I captured a hacking money. Nice. Yeah, all the mining ships have some absolutely beautiful fittings. I think I have a really good Hulk fit, Hulk skin, if I remember rightly. It might not be this account. We'll see. How would I even see that? It'd have to be my ship thing, wouldn't it? Hulk. Show info. Skins. Yeah, here it is. I got the Galnet Streamcast. Look at that beauty. And I don't even fly it anymore. But like I remember being so hyped when I got that from the Twitch drops on the Eve main Twitch channel. Absolute beauty. It is funny, those skins in this game. I love them. There's some beautiful skins, and the skinner tool is, you know, only made it better. But it is funny how much emphasis there is on skins in the game, where I spend 90% of my time like zoomed out this far. Like I spend a lot of time out there. Yeah, purple, my favorite color. Big fan of it. Good pink skins in there as well. The Galnet Streamcast line is a great line of skins in general. Skinner has made it so obviously you can make your own stuff that's not better necessarily, but just actually of decent quality. So, I mean, I don't use Skinner as much as I probably should. What sort of Hulk skins can you get? Can you look up other ships, or do you have to be in them? You can tell how little I've used these. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I have to be in it. Are there any cool ones for the Venture? Oh, okay, all skins. If I click view more. Okay, this is confusing. Oh, the Alliance skins for the Init Retriever. Some of these are quite cute. That does not look anything like that thumbnail. That's like white and that's like grey, but okay. Still pretty though. I need to get someone in my corp to do some of the corporation skin stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Waiting for them to add holographic elements to Skinner that are in some of the... Yeah, I mean, that's always the thing, right? The Skinner skins are really cool, but they'll never have the holograms and the sort of like overlays that some of the built-in ones have. I mean, the Astero has for the longest time been like a perfect example of that. The Astero is ridiculously well sewed on skins. Like, there are so many unique Astero skins. To some degree, the other Sisters of Eve ships have the same thing. Like, I'm trying to remember what the one up from the Astero is called. Stratios. The Stratios has the same thing. It's got absolutely inundated with good skins. And then there are some ships that have like very few good ones at all. I did get some unique ship skins from the Empires at War Eve board game. Came with a little card with like a redeem code that gave me a bunch of cool skins for ships that I've been using quite a lot, but again, they're not necessarily gonna blow your mind. They're just they're unique, but they're pretty average. They're kind of like an orange and black motif. I think I should have try to think of one that had. I think the Zealot had one. Let's take a look. Yeah, War for the Empire. Here we go. I mean, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? But again, you can't get this kind of effect, I don't think, through Skinner. Maybe you can, I'm not an expert, but it also has like a little decal War for New Eden on the front, which is cool. Almost filled up this mining hold. So again, what is I'm pretty sure my reward for this is like awful. It really is just for the love of the game. Campaigns, Blessed Exchange. Yeah. Mine Raspite. So 8% global contribution, 1% personal contribution. And my reward for completing it is 360,000 ISK, 2,000 LP, which is basically nothing. That's kind of amusing. It's almost pointless that they have that as a reward at that point, right? Am I crazy? Okay, hold on. Can I partially... I can partially claim it. That's even sillier. Yeah, that's just a pointlessly small amount. If you let you put Alliance emblems in place of Empire and PC Corp emblems, yeah, I mean you can spend your Evermarks on emblems, right? But I don't know, their positions are obviously different. Like it is, some of the ships also look silly. It's the Ark, I think. It might be the Providence, but obviously they're the same base design. But If I remember rightly, like the emblem is like tiny on the end. I don't think you can preview. You can preview the emblem. Maybe it'll be in here. Personalization. Yeah, Arc Corporation emblem. Can I see it? Maybe not. But it's like a tiny little square on the end. I think my friend called it like a tramp stamp. It was like a really awful little sticker that just didn't really make much sense. And on other ships it looks amazing because they kind of scale it. They put it on a flat surface that suits it. No such luck for most ships, unfortunately. Now it looks to me, I mean, I don't think I'm crazy. It looks to me like most people are just jettisoning their ore, and I think I'll do the exact same because this is worth basically nothing. I'm pretty much just here for the sake of furthering the Empire's progress. Mining rewards come from handing in special reprocessed materials at event vendors. Okay. Is that for the military campaign? There, because I know what you mean. There was the Quartermaster stuff for the Warpath. I don't know if that's the same for the military campaign, but I didn't do any of the Warpath stuff, so you might be right. But certainly, you don't need to do it for this part. But maybe, as you're saying, it has other values. Let's take a look. I'm going to look up Raspite. Raspite Eve Online. Oh, it's just a post from today. Yeah, mostly just people complaining about not being able to find it. Right, okay. Load up on the ores to have the components to buy event skinner kit. Okay, I see, right. So there is a benefit to having the ores for the crystalline materials. God, this is getting complicated. So if I go show info on here, industry, crystalline raspite, so that's the stuff that matters. And then we exchange that to the, yeah, in Mehator. Okay. So that is a good research. Will not just jettison it. Thank you for mentioning that, Segfreudian. I would have just jettisoned it. And I would have missed out on that. So there we go. We're all full. Let's go drop it off. Not in a player station. Let's go to the NPC station and we can come right back.
Warp drive active.
Yeah. Yep, I'm one of them. I'm one of those people. I remember seeing a guy who ganked me once sitting outside the Heck Trade Hub in a Stratios with his Corpse clown nose emblem on it. Yeah, some Corp logos also just suit it, right? You know, some don't, some do. I don't think mine by Corp logo particularly suits a lot of that stuff. I mean, it looks good on the MR ships because it's the right color. But other than that, not particularly.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay. So I'm just going to drop it here. I mean, do we have reprocessing here? I could. Let's just repro it. I mean, this isn't going to be the best repro, right? They can better repro rates than this. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes only. 2.1. Okay, so it's tiny. That's good. That's good. So it's easy to move around. I don't really care about this stuff. So in theory, I can take this to Mehator. Now I'm fully aware that this will be worthless, right? This will not be enough. This will not be nearly enough to redeem anything. But let's go and check it out anyway. Reasonable rewards, slightly better than T2 items. Yeah, I'm going to go check out the rewards system just to get a, idea. So where are we? Just trying to find where it is. I think it's Mehator. Because it was on Raspite. I think it was in the show info, wasn't it? Here it is. The Navy Anchorage System. So let's go. Navy Anchorage Station Mehator. It's only 5 jumps. One's through low-sec for some reason. I understand why that's the case. Let's go and take a peek then. See what sort of rewards we can have. Because I'm glad you mentioned that. Because the ISG rewards rubbish. Event Mining Surveyor provides 21% crit rather than T2 20%. That's cool. That's cool. I think I'll probably just end up giving them away to people because I don't mine enough for that to be worth it for me. But still, I'd rather get my money's worth, right? So let's go find out what we can get. I wonder if that will change over time as well. or if it will just stay the same.
Warp drive active.
Ah, my home away from home, Kamala. Lot of time in this system. Don't usually go over this way. I know Mehator is supposed to be like kind of the de facto capital of Amar. I know it sounds insane, but it's because there's the Amar system. But Mehator has got like serious lore significance to them. I'm blanking on exactly what it is, but I do know that it's got like some serious significance to them.
Warp drive active.
I swear it picks and chooses when to give me that warp drive active notification. Let's see what else people are saying on the subreddit. Said the person who definitely shouldn't check there. I want top of today because I just want to see the new expansion comments from people. People talk about login rewards. 25. Yeah, the new subcapital operations. Have you seen this? I don't know if you guys have seen this. Hold on, let me bring it up. This is crazy if I'm understanding it right. Even alphas get this subcapital operations special expert system. It's only 1 day, don't get me wrong, but have you seen what it provides? Like, holy. You can like fly blops with this thing. Like, it's one of the most insane expert systems I've ever seen. So if you're an alpha and there's anything you think, oh, I know, you know, I have this ship I've always wished I could use, and I don't have the skills to fly it, but I've got it in my hangar, like, now might be the time.
Active.
It is a bit of a FOMO thing. I'm not a huge fan of expert systems though, just because I think they basically just monetize FOMO, and like, that's not my sort of thing. I like the way Eve kind of promotes patience and training time. So expert systems, not a huge fan, but I guess there are times it makes sense for some people. Okay. I think there's some points of interest in Mehator that will jog my memory on why it's like lore significant. I hope so, at least. I've certainly been there a lot recently for something, I think, for the lore video. Expert system is nuts, but I guess it's to inspire extreme boosting new play. Exactly, that's the problem, right? It's a bit of a thing where it's gonna like give a lot of new players some crazy capabilities, and then they'll be like, oh, well, now I have to have that, and they'll just buy a whole ton of skill injectors and stuff, which is not my preferred way, not something I like to endorse. I'm a slow and steady Eve player, I'm afraid. I'm not big onto skill injection, that sort of thing. Right, here we are in Mehator. Let's go to the Amar Navy Anchorage Station. 134 people here? It's because there's a Raspite reserve in system. Cool. That saves us going any further. But we'll go to the station first. And then I think we'll go to the Raspite deposit, because there's got to be a ton of people, right? 134 in system. There's got to be tons in that site.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
I don't know how this hand-in's going to work. Is it going to be an LP store? Presumably. This is, again, one of those times where I need to just read, right? Oh, sorry. It's the outside the MRK. Look, again, if I just read, it's the trade-in transport outside the station. Right, so let's go outside. Where are ye, trade-in transport? It's gonna be where those dudes are, right? Is it that thing? Is it on my overview? Probably not. Where are these guys? What are these guys on? Yeah, there it is. What on earth is that? Large collidable object. Oh, for fuck's sake. So it'll be there. It'll be on my GTFO tab or my MISC tab or something. I can't add a large collidable object to my overview tab. It'll be all over the place. That's annoying. I'll just have to keep my eyes peeled for it. Luckily, I know what it looks like now. So let's fly over to that. You could probably bookmark that, right? Yeah, exactly. What do you mean I can't fly a Rorqual anymore? I have somehow If I had a nickel for each time someone joined my corp and like had a roll call within 2 weeks and then like had no idea what they were doing with it, I'd be a rich man. Unfortunately, when I was in low sec and high sec, and we used to be a lot more new bro friendly, right? Like I'm still new bro friendly now, but we have higher requirements than we used to. We used to get so many people. I don't know what it is, but like when you're new to this game, there's a yearning to be a booster. There's just such a yearning to be a mining booster. People just go for it. And time after time, that's the raw qual. And people will buy one, they'll credit card swipe their way into one, and then they'll say, okay, it says I can fly it now. And then it turns out you actually need quite high skills to fly it properly, and you also need quite good game knowledge to fly it without dying. And so a lot of free or cheap raw calls have been ascertained by members of my corp, courtesy of other people getting them when they didn't really know how to use them. Oh, this is like a new thing, or at least it is if you haven't done Warpath, which I haven't. So what we've got, so it's like 1,000, just like, wow. So 1,000, 4,000 or 20,000 for these boosters. So what sort of effects do these have? So this is resistances and reduction in residue possibility. Okay. Electronics booster. So it's going to be like ECM. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. Hardpoint booster. Reduction in mining capacity use, turret damage, drone damage, some cool stuff there. Yearn for the ore. Yeah, I know you do. I know you yearn for the ore. Okay, so some interesting boosters. Module and ammunition blueprints. So you get some... What sort of value are these? Some faction modules. Or rather the blueprint for one? No, it's just the raw module. 40k... 200k, so for a heatsink. Any of these have a market listing in this region? Probably not, right? Because I'm just in Devoid. I could check it on Janus, but I can't be bothered. Oh, that's a bit steep. 7,000 crystallines for every 100k or so. Or okay. It's not terrible. Skinner components. Okay, this will be like crack to some people, not me, but some people will be absolutely losing it at being able to get all these skin things. 100k or yeah. The actual skins here are much more likely to appeal to me. It's kind of, I think, if anything, I'll probably end up going for the modules and ammunition blueprints, right? And or the modules and ammunition, just raw outputs, just because that's something I will either use or sell. Whereas I can't really be bothered too much for the boosters. I forget to pop them as it is. I don't really care about the Skinner components, and I could take or leave the skins. I'm very much just in it for the actual contribution. So let's see if there's any Raspite left for old Billy Boy here. 129 people in system. Oh, look at local. It's all kinds of fucked. Look at that. What's going on there? That ain't right. That ain't right. Mining. Yeah, a lot of people here. Holy crap. Not much Raspite left. Very, very little Raspite left. In fact, are we done? No, they're mining. What's that? Where is that on my... Oh, is this not on... Oh, I don't think this is on my... Yeah, I need to add it to my tab. I hadn't even thought about that. Okay, so there's a few rocks around. Oh, that one just disappeared as I had clicked on it. Crikey, it's going. Look at all these miners. Right, that's beeline it to this one. I don't think we'll get there in time. Jark has one as well. That's good. There's a few around. I'm okay now that I've remembered or been appropriately informed that you can use the map to find these. That's way more viable. I will love to come out here and do more of these. I will definitely bring a better ship. I will definitely bring like a retriever. I'll bring a porpoise as well, and I'll boost some corp mates, and we can go around getting our fill. Because I want to do this for the glory of Amar, obviously. I definitely want to get the Amar achievement for contributing. I don't think I'll get Deacon of the Exchange, which means you have to, as I understand, like basically max out your personal contribution. I mean, let me check it out again. It was crazy though. Let me check this achievement title. So it's going to be the campaign one. Amar. So the first one, Divine Commerce. So this is achievable, right? Like, complete the personal contribution limit on campaign objectives. So you get like Pious Exchanger and a cool skin. And then there's a bunch here of more skins. This one, like 20. So I think for 20 days you have to do the maximum contribution. Or for 20 objectives you have to max contribute. You have 3 months, right? At least in theory. So it's not impossible, but like I'm definitely not gonna be able to do this for all 4 empires. That will not be doable, I don't think. And the base one is just 3. So yeah, like I think we'll get the MR one. That's all I really care about. But I don't think I'll get Deacon of the Exchange. We'll have to wait and see. I'd love to though. This achievement stuff is really cool to me because it reminds me of OSRS's like quest capes and skill capes and stuff. Like anything where you can say, oh my fucking mob just went. Anything where you can say like, oh look, I did this, like, and everyone else can see that I did this thing. Like I think that's the stuff that works on me. I'm a real completionist. Now this is getting eaten so quickly. I don't think we'll get a lick at this. We might have to go to Jark. But at least if we're finding some, even as quite a lot of these people are here at one time, like in a couple days, couple weeks, a lot less people will be doing this. It'll be a bit more viable. I was kind of worried they really underdid it, and they've definitely underdone it, but they've definitely underdone it, but not as badly as I thought they had. And it's gone. Just as I got close to it. Oh. Yeah, is this the Jark one? Tuamuta. I swear we were there. Oh, that was the one we came from. Yeah. Didn't even get a single bit of ore. Right. That's the anchorage station. Yeah. I think I'll park it up then.
Drive active.
I think I'll take my venture back to the anchorage station since it looks like a good place to sort of base out of for this stuff. I'll obviously get a barge, I think, instead of a venture for next time, and I'll hop back on this. But I think we've had a good evening exploring some of the new stuff. Shame that only the mining was able to be accessed. Give it a couple days, though. I'm sure I'll be able to do some of the hacking, and I'm sure it'd be very easy to do some of the complex ones, if not very frustrating. So, but we'll check it out another time. For those of you who have been here for a while now, it seems some names that have been here the whole time. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you guys again fairly soon. And if not, I'm sure you'll catch me in another video. See you around, guys.